The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
The Jets and the Titans just 2 days away, and it's our first Fireman ED Friday of the Jets regular season. There's a lot to talk about, so Jet fans, let's hit it and get it started.
Man, our Jets are primed for a historic season. We bleed Jets green each and every day. This is not the same old Jets. We have Aaron freaking Rodgers. We have Garrett Wilson. Let's go. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinnen Williams. The Jets bandwagon is loaded. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show.
Here we go, Jet fans. Welcome in, everybody. Before we get started and bring on the great Fireman Ed, who's joining us live from the Newark airport before he jets off down to Nashville for Jets Titans on Sunday. A reminder, if you're not going to the game, come watch it with all of us in New York City. T Squared Social, our second regular season watch party. The first one was epic despite the loss. Jets will win on Sunday. Come join us and watch it all. It's a free event. We'll have drink specials, food specials, the game on all the TVs with the sound. They'll have Red Zone on so you can follow the other games as well. RSVP with the link in the description. It takes all of 30 seconds to do just that. So I will see all of you at T Squared on Sunday. All right, joining us right now for the first of what I hope is many weekly appearances through February for this Jets team this season is the great Fireman Ed. What's up, Ed? Happy Football Friday to you.
Let's go, brother. Let's go. Let's get it right. Let's get it right.
How we feeling? You know, what's the energy like in the Newark airport? A lot of Jet fans making the trip down to Nashville?
Oh, yeah. It's insanity. It's insanity. The place is – Jake, there's going to be, I'm going to say 35 to 40% of that stadium will be Jet fans, maybe 50%.
If you think about it, it's great timing for it, right? I mean,
yes.
Weather aside, but it's early September. Nashville's a great road destination. It feels like it's a perfect situation for fans to travel.
Yeah, everybody's pumped up. So after that disaster on Monday, I think we want to right the ship. So let's go.
How do you feel about this team? You know, one game in, of course, you and I were talking a little bit off air. Just one bad game, or is it something a little bigger that concerns you?
Well, listen, I think Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers. That's the great thing. Let's start with the positives. The Aaron Rodgers and he had 33 plays. He played 33 plays is what he played, or 34. And then they brought in Tyrod. He played well, Tyrod. Anyway, that was exciting. You know, some hiccups, which you expect, but I thought the offense you could see it's going to be potent. As far as the defense, very disappointing. I watched the film yesterday. I watched it on my own, and we got pushed around, man, big time. We got beaten up, actually. I mean, there's a bunch of guys. There's probably 5 guys that I could point out that were really brutal. Jermaine Johnson, Will McDonald, Kinlaw, Quincy, and CJ. I thought they weren't in, you know. It was a mess, but it's one game. I'm not going to get crazy. They'll make adjustments. You get worried if you get pushed around again this week against the Tennessee Titans. Because Bill Callahan's going to come in to look with Tony Pollard and run the ball down our throat. But it's a copycat league, so they're going to do exactly what we talked about it off air. I mean, to me, they looked like they were out of position. The spacing was ridiculous. There was no containment on the defensive end at all. I mean, it was crazy. And Ashton Davis was getting torched. He got torched by the fullback. The fullback ran right by him. So we'll see. Listen, it's one game. I'm always hopeful because I think the talent is too good. There's too much talent. The defense has way too much talent. So it's. I expect them to turn it around and have hell of a game in Tennessee, you know, and it ain't going to be easy. Tennessee's got a lot of players, so we'll see.
Never easy with the Jets, especially as well. And, it's interesting because they're the team we think they are. Ed. This is a game you got to win. And then you have a short week against New England after that home opener. You're going to get that crowd going. It's going to be nuts. They got to find a way to win Sunday. And then, at this time a week from now, the Jets got to be looking like a 2-1 team. You flush week one if they can handle their business.
Well, you know what? Hey, Jake, I talked about this with the guys. Listen, forget about this 4-1 and we're going to beat this one and we're going to beat that one. No. Win Sunday and then come home and we'll talk about New England. But win Sunday. You got to win Sunday. So all I want to do is concentrate on Sunday. Let's get the defense right. Let the offense start progressing where, I felt like Aaron was constantly going to Garrett Wilson. I mean, that's great, but we got to get Mike Williams involved. You got to get the tight ends involved. I mean, you got to get everybody involved. It's one game. We didn't have the ball a lot. They had the one sustained drive, which was phenomenal, But and what I did love, you had to love probably a greatest play you had to love because we never had it is when he has them jump off sides and he hits Lazard down the seam for a bomb. I mean, I don't think we've ever had a quarterback that was able to do something like that. I mean that. So that was exciting in itself. And I expect more offsides as the year goes on. I could see him doing that to Tennessee to have them jump off sides. I could see that happening. They're a younger team. The Niners are more polished, So we'll see. It's good. It's exciting. Very exciting.
Well, when you look at just Rodgers for his first game off the injury, hasn't played a full game in a year and a half. For him to show some of the signs he did, I come away really encouraged with that. I don't think this team just forgot how to run block. I think they need some reps, and Brees is going to be fine. I think he had an uncharacteristically poor game for his standards. But, I mean, what I saw from Rodgers, that one drive that ended with the Brees rushing touchdown, they converted on third down 3 separate times. That's more than they did on any drive all last year already. So I think there was enough there, Ed, where, if you protect Aaron, I know his mobility is not what it once was. It doesn't need to be great as long as he's protected and could get the ball out as fast as he did.
Yeah, listen, Aaron's Aaron, man. I mean, he's the plus of everything. So he changes the whole dynamic of the team. Let's be honest. I mean, I love that they pulled him out of the game at the end. I like they did that with Tyrod Taylor. I would have liked to seen him take some of the other players out. He didn't. But yeah, listen, there's a lot of positives. I mean, it is one game, and you know what? The Niners are for real. The Niners are for real. Niners should have been. I said it on my Instagram this week. That Fireman at 42, by the way. Listen, they should have won the World Championship probably 2 out of the last 3 years. They lost to the Kansas City Chiefs both times. They could have won both of those games. I mean, let's face it, they're a very good team, and we're trying to get to that level. But we gotta crawl before we walk. We can't start talking about facing the Niners when we gotta win games. Let's stack the wins and get this team built up. Let's build the team up. Let's pray to God that we don't get a major injury, and see where we go. I'm anxious to see how Will McDonald and Kim. I want to see that defensive line. I want to see how they play this week because Quinnen's going to get doubled. Quinnen gets doubled. Sometimes he gets tripled. When you watch that film, you look at him. I mean, he's never single. He's never in single coverage, blocking wise. It's never a single guy blocking him. It's always a double team. Just look at the film. You're like, holy Jesus, they have that much respect for him, And the other guy's got to make plays. The other guy's got to make plays. And I'll tell you, the linebackers got to fill the void quicker than they're filling it. I mean, I'm no defensive guru, but you look at the film and you go, wait a minute, they're a little too far off the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought the positioning of the team in general between the gaps on the defensive line, and I thought that the linebackers were back. I was like, what is happening? So we'll see. I mean, Salah, this is his specialty. Listen, we know he's on a hot seat. I want him to do well. I want to see him do well. I want them to sign him. I want to have all of this for the next 5 years. You want You want cohesiveness. You don't want this. So, and if he gets run on this week, people are going to be on his ass, including me and you and everybody else. So, it's a big week, man. And I think the Jet fans are going to show up in force, big time.
And really, when you look at like this defense, to me, they've earned the benefit of the doubt based on what they've done the last couple of years for sure. I hope it's like the Dallas game last year, week 2. They got torched by Dak and company. And then, they responded and they were a top 3 defense the rest of the way. But this will tell us a lot because, the bread and butter for this team has been the defense. And it was, well, they need the quarterback. Well, all of a sudden, if you're getting run on by Tony Pollard and Will Levis is beating you, that changes the entire tenor of the season, even with, still after the 15 more games to go. Like they really got to come out and dictate the terms in this game, man. They got to get a lead and dominate.
I'll tell you what, we're going to find out in the next couple of weeks if JFM and Quentin Jefferson, all right, those, Bryce Hoff, if that was really the case, because what I seen on Monday night and watched that backlash yesterday, that was not the defense that I seen in the, previous year. So there's a lot to be, there's some worry. You should be worried. Kinlaw was getting pushed around, but, they also know him. So they may know his tendencies. Remember that. They had him for years. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting to see. But there was definitely a lot of positives coming out of Monday night, especially on the offensive end of the ball. So we'll see what happens. But they got to, Jake, they got to turn the ball over. They got to get, look at Fred Warner, what he did. What a play on Brees, punching that ball out. I mean, we have to be the one thing that they always said about this defense was that we don't turn the ball over. We don't get turnovers. They play good defense, but they don't get turnovers. You got to be an aggressive defense and be doing just what Fred Warner and we got to. The second guy in's got to be stripping the ball. There's got to be constant, the difference in the great defenses have aggressiveness. They just do. So we'll see. We'll see where it goes. It's one game, brother. But, I'm anxious to see how it's going to work out come Sunday.
We're talking with Fireman Ed. Yeah, me too. We're talking with Fireman Ed in his weekly spot. He'll join us Fridays throughout the Jet season. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in, and make sure you guys follow Fireman Ed on Instagram. You can see it right down below his name there, at Fireman Ed 42. Jet home openers on Thursday, so the Jets handle business, Ed. I mean, what are you expecting from that crowd 6 days from now? I can't even imagine how loud MetLife might be.
That's going to be crazy. Listen, we've been talking about this for years with the Patriots. Who better than to play on Thursday Night Football?
Yep.
I mean, listen, I want to see us put a 50 burger on it. Okay? We've been down with them for how many years? We haven't beat them in 7 years? What's it been, 6-7 years?
Well, if you count the final game of the regular season last year.
Oh, right. We won the game last year, right? Okay, you're right. But
that tells you all you need to know, though. Beat them in an actual spot where it matters.
I don't really count that game. That game was not. I just don't even count that game. We need to. Well, when was the last time we beat them at home? I think it was with Fitz.
Yeah, 2015.
Yeah. So, I mean, what are we talking about? 9 years, 8 years? Come on, it's time. So, I mean, as far as the crowd's going to be insane. The crowd's going to be insane. That's my 65th birthday, by the way.
That's right. Mine's the day before. I'm the 18th.
Oh, you are? Oh, my man. How old are you going to be?
Not 65. I'll tell you that much.
There's no way.
You got me by what?
What are you, 30? 30?
Yeah, you got me by like 25 years.
25 years. Oh. No, I got you by more than that. You're 40 years old?
No, my math is actually horrendous. 40 years, right?
All right. Well,
29.
40 if it's 25 years. I'm 65.
I'll be 29.
Oh, you're going to be 29.
Yeah.
You got 36 years.
I'm not a math guy.
36 years. I got you by. Yeah, I'm an old timer, but I don't feel it. I feel great. So knock on wood.
You look great, Ed. You look great. You feel great, and you're bringing us a win on Sunday in Nashville.
We want to see this. Listen, before that game Monday night, we felt like we could win that game, okay, with the talent we had, okay? It was going to be a tall order, but you felt like, and you were disappointed in the way it worked out. But you got to move on. You take the beating, like I said on my Instagram, humble pie, You take a shellacking. You took the beating. Now move on. You got too much talent. Let's go. Let's go. And Salah's got to coach these guys up. So let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have a question for Fireman Ed, write it in the chat. We're going to spend a couple more minutes with him. He's joining us, if you tuned in late, from the Newark airport before he gets on a flight with a bunch of Jet fans down to Nashville.
Fans. The Jet fans are going wild. They can't wait. They're all fired up. I'm hearing them yelling at me now. What are you doing? Let's go. They're all cocktailing up. Going to Nashville. Let's go.
That's a great town to be in.
The bourbon is going to be flowing.
What's the deal with the weather, Ed? We're hearing like mixed reports of rain in the forecast, and that obviously could mean, hey, if the Jets can't stop the run, you're going to have even bigger problems on a wet field.
It seems like it's getting better as the days are going on. It looked like a disaster a couple of days ago, but it's starting to. When I looked at it today, it doesn't look as bad. It looks like it's intermittent showers. When you have down there, you know how it is. Humidity is through the roof. So you always have chances for thunderstorms. It's like Florida, it's similar. It's the South and it's hot. So humidity will be up. Let's go. Let's go. I don't care what the weather is. Let's go. Let's win this game. Let's go in there and win this game because I want to see us win this game. So Thursday night, we're out of our birds.
Amen. Now, let me ask you about the Haason Reddick situation. There was a report yesterday that the two sides are talking again. That was from Connor Hughes on SNY. What do you make of all this? Did you ever think we'd get to this far into the season now where he's likely missing a second game check?
No. First off, his representation, I just don't understand them. I don't get it. Like, listen, Lombardi's a killer of us, right? He hates us. But I mean, he had, like, when you listen to what Michael Lombardi, because, although he hates the Jets, I have a lot of respect for Michael Lombardi because he's an extremely knowledgeable guy. And, I would like him to like the Jets a little more, but I read his book, and he's tremendous, from Bill Walsh. And he said, what is Rex? What is he doing? Like, he said outright, what are you doing? Like, he's getting bad representation. Like, you can't lose all that money. You got to get in there. Hold out in there. Like Jamar Chase was doing. You got to come in and, it's crazy. I honestly, I don't know what's happening there. I go from saying, okay, they're going to sign him to they're going to trade him. Like, Jake, listen, Jake, if they get a major injury, one of these teams out there, they're all looking for pass rushers. All right. If he's not going to come in and play for us, don't you think the Jets wouldn't trade a second rounder for him? They're gonna. You got to remember, Douglas is got to answer to the locker room. He's got other guys he's got to pay. So they said, it's not that simple as, oh yeah, we'll load him up with money. No, you can't do that.
Exactly.
Because there's other things there's ramifications of that, and the guys are looking. Believe me, they're looking
for sure. And even if my big thing with him would be if you showed up and you got to know your teammates a little bit, like that would also put some pressure on the coaches to go to Joe Douglas and Woody and say, get a deal done. We saw Rex on Hard Knocks in 2010, visibly upset and annoyed with the whole Revis stuff, telling Tannenbaum and Woody, we got to get the deal done, this and that. Him just being away, they don't know him. He's never been a Jet before. He's been in the building for his physical for one day. He's cost himself all this money. I don't see how it ends with the Jets now saying, all right, now we're going to give you a blank check. That's not going to happen.
No, it's not going to happen. I don't see good things, honestly. I don't see good things. I was shocked that he didn't come in for his first check. That blew me away. I thought for sure last minute he was coming in. I figured he'd be in Friday, Saturday. I thought for sure he was coming in because he didn't want to miss that check. It's $800,000. And no, instead you're hearing Rossini and Josine Anderson saying he's taking a hard stand. I mean, that's not what you want to hear.
Yeah, it makes no sense to me. Yeah. A couple questions for Ed before we let him get on his plane to lead this fan base in Nashville. This one is a super chat here from Maeli, who says, do you think the issues we had on Monday Night Football were because of the lack of reps in the preseason games?
I do think that comes into play. There's no doubt about it. I mean, Rust is a live action with the live bullets. Excuse my French, but that's just you can't even in preseason, they don't play like they do when they get into games. It's just a whole nother level. And so I think it affects it for sure. But very disappointing to see Salah's defense, because a lot of those guys have been with him for 3-4 years. So that's alarming. How could it not be alarming? Yeah, I don't think the average fan can't say it's not alarming. Jake, you know me. I'm a positive. I always have the glasses half full. I'm not Joe Benigno. We're two different guys when it comes to that. I respect Joe, but Joe is the sky's falling. I don't have that in me. And so to see that and then to watch it back yesterday, I was like, whoa, they got pushed around. I mean, they really did. I'll tell you, the Niners had like they call it a hat on a hat, man. I'm telling you, you've seen it, right? You look at what you do, the all 22. How do you get the all 22? Where do you get that?
You need an NFL Plus login, but I have a guy every week, Andrew Fialco, on the show, who's former University of Buffalo coach, like really good film guy, and we went through it on the show earlier this week, and I mean, just everything we're talking about.
You got to talk to you about that. I like to get that all 22.
I got you. We make that happen. Fireman Ed.
I would like to get that, really, because I'm always sitting in my living room playing with, because I record the game and then I just play it back with the back and forth. So that's what I did yesterday afternoon. It's nice being retired.
Who's got it better than you, Ed? Come on now.
Yeah, well, paid my dues, right, brother? So is what it is.
Genergy wants to know, what's the first thing you're going to do when you get to Tennessee?
Have a nice cocktail.
Love that.
I'm going to put on my Toby Keith shirt. Because I love Toby Keith, God rest his soul, he was my guy, and I'm going to put on my Oklahoma Sooner hat, and I'll still have some Jet stuff. I got my sneakers, I got certain things. I can never not have any Jet stuff on, but I have it on my arm. I got my Fireman ED tattoo.
Love that.
It's always there. So I'll have a nice cocktail with a lot of the Jet fans. I know this airline, this plane is loaded. Which, I mean, it's insanity. When I go down there at that gate, I know it's going to be bedlam when I go down there. So, looking forward to it, actually.
Are we going to get video like the flight to Vegas last year of the Jet chant on the plane?
Sure, listen, I'm sure somebody's going to be doing it. Listen, like I said last year, you gotta obey the rules. So I don't go on a plane and just start doing Jet chants. They'll throw you off. What happened there was the captain came on the microphone and said on the intercom and said, "Hey, Fireman ED, we're waiting for you. You gonna do it or what?"
That's amazing.
And that's when I did it, because I did not do it on my own, because you can get thrown off the plane. So I mean, if somebody else does it, you're gonna get me. You're gonna get me. So. We'll see how it goes, but I'm always ready for a little Jet chant. You know that, Jake. Hey, the greatest chant in all of sport. How'd you like that film on the New York Jets?
I meant to bring that up to you. That was awesome. When did you guys film that? That was tremendous.
We filmed it like only a week before. It was wild. Scotty was there, and Jetman. Good guys, man. They're good guys. Listen. Guys get on them. They're good dudes, and they want this Jet chant to continue, and I love those guys. So I'm all for those guys, and it was nice to see all of us together. We were up on a rooftop on 27th Street and 7th Avenue. I have the guy that owned the building was a good friend. He was a veteran in Vietnam with this, God rest his soul, my captain, Patty Brown, who died in 9/11. He was best friends with him. And it just meant to be, when I went there, I was like, oh my God, he knew Patty, and Patty was my boy. So, that whole thing, and then looking at the Freedom Tower, it was just powerful, man. It was just such respect and humble, it's an honor. It's really a true honor to be able to represent the Jet chant, which is the greatest chant in all of sport. It's the greatest chant in all of sports.
Without question.
And, the Eagles, they copied us. They're full of shit. Okay? EAGLES. Get out of here. It's a Jet chant. It's JETS. Jets. Let's go.
Ed, You are the man. I look forward to this throughout the season. You have a safe flight and bring us back a victory that this team
Let's
desperately needs going into that home opener next Thursday.
Well, Jake, listen, you guys, you do a great job. I love your Asmaniacs. I got my shirt. I got my what do you call that? The cooler when you hold the, what is that? You put your drink in the beer. You gave me one of those.
Oh, the koozie. Yes.
The koozie. You gave me a koozie. So, I always got my stuff for the Jake Asman show. Let's go. Let's go. Big year. Let's go. We're not down. Listen, we're down, but we're not out. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Fireman Ed joining us from the Newark airport ahead of his big flight to Nashville, loaded up with Jet fans. Love that. Love that. Thank you to Ed for joining us. Make sure you guys click that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We'll have Ed on with us most Fridays throughout the season. I got to get with Joe B and figure out the schedule for next Friday following the home opener, just because the Jets play Thursday. Very unique with these primetime games, but our weekly guest lineup is stacked, headlined by Joe B on Mondays and Fireman Ed on Fridays. We'll have Boy Green with us on the afternoon show. I see the super chat here from NYJ Pod. It says, Fireman Ed's the GOAT. Can I finally get a pick with you? I'll say this on behalf of Ed. If you go up to him, he's the nicest human, man. The best. So, yes. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't get to this live NYJ Pod, but I'm telling you, if you meet Fireman Ed, he will definitely take a picture with you. He's a great dude. He did our event in Vegas last year at Circa. We did a kickoff party the Friday night before the game. We had probably 400 Jet fans there. And Ed, I just invited him, knew he was in town. He didn't have to stay for as long as he did, and he took pictures for 3 straight hours with Jet fans. It was incredible. So I can't thank Ed enough. He's the man. Ladies and gentlemen, comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. I want to talk about a story that's not a Jet story, but it does obviously impact the Jets. And that's what happened last night between the Bills and the Dolphins. And, first things first, I hope Tua is okay, because that's obviously scary when you talk about his 4th concussion in 2 years and the fencing position that he went into that they say is like the worst of the worst that could happen. So I want to send, my well wishes to Tua on a recovery. But I also want to bring up this. We talk so much about, Aaron Rodgers staying healthy. Can Rodgers stay healthy? And yeah, that's obviously a story for an older quarterback. But it's a year-to-year league. Because last year going into the season, it was, Tua can't stay healthy. And he actually stayed healthy and played 17 games last year. But it just shows you're always one hit away, especially with a guy like him who's got a history of concussions. And on that play, his natural instincts of just trying to get the first down took over. And what he was doing all last year to protect himself by just going down, he forgot. And he got hurt. There's nothing you can do about it. So it's a year-to-year league. So all this talks about, Rodgers, this, that. And it's like, the Dolphins have a major question mark at quarterback too. And by the way, let's not forget Tua was terrible in that game before the injury. 3 interceptions. One of them awful that got pick sixed. And the other thing about that game last night, it once again exposes the fraudulent Dolphins for the team they are. They're now 1-12 or 1-11. I'll get the stat right. I thought it makes a big difference. They're now 1-11 against winning teams in their last 12 games. They were 1-5 last year. This is now a 2-year trend going on 3 seasons. They are front runners. They could beat the bad teams. When they play good teams, they lose. So if the Jets are a good team, they need to beat the Dolphins. Because they are a fraudulent team. And their offensive line is not very good. They did not have a good offseason. And now with Tua out, I don't know when he's coming back. And Skylar Thompson's their quarterback now. People are like, Mike White's going to play. Mike White, he got beat out apparently by Thompson. You know who the 3rd string quarterback is for the Dolphins? You know who their backup now is with Tua out? Tim Boyle. All right, so all the Dolphin fans, and there were many, I saw all the tweets resurface last night, who were making the Aaron Rodgers jokes. Is Aaron Rodgers' Achilles has the other Achilles has the chance to do the funniest thing ever. Ha, ha, ha. Bad joke. Well, karma's a bitch. I don't root for injuries, but, this idea that, it's the Jets were the only team that had a major health question mark at quarterback. I said it all offseason. A year ago, Tua was the one who couldn't stay healthy. And now who knows how long he's out. Now their schedule coming up is relatively easy, but you don't know. I hope they trade for Zach Wilson. You know, I think he's someone that obviously would be great for the Dolphins. That's what they should do, personally. All right, Addison made it rain with a 5-spot of channel memberships. And I already saw the chat. One of the memberships went to Nate, parentheses Nate, which means, Addison, we're sending you something in the merch store because you got it done, baby. But first things first, let's shout out Addison for the 5-spot.
Yeah, here we come, baby. Here we come. Here come the Jets, baby.
Here we go. 5 names: David, ISU, Jaden, Sonny Crockett, and our guy, Nate, parentheses Nate, all receiving channel memberships. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're one of the 350 people watching live right now, click the like button. More importantly, subscribe to the channel. And a reminder to all that we're throwing a big-time football watch party for the Jet game on Sunday at T-Squared Social in Midtown. It's easy to get to. You can take the train right to Grand Central, and it's a 2-minute walk from Grand Central. So come from Jersey, Westchester, Long Island, Connecticut. If you live in the city, easy to get to. Let's have some fun on Sunday and watch the Jets get their first win of the year. Today's Jake Asman Show is presented by my friends at Underdog Fantasy. If you haven't signed up for Underdog yet, you're missing out on opportunities to basically have a great chance to win money. All right, first things first, it's a lot of fun to play, but they're giving basically freebies out every single day over at Underdog. Underdog Fantasy, code Asman, and they'll give you a 50% deposit match up to $1,000. For those of you who are new to the show, every week I give you my Jet Underdog special picks so you could follow along or you can make your own. But here's what I like this week, all right? CeeDee Lamb, it's a freebie. He needs to have at least 1 total yard and you win. All right, this is a $10 play to win over $60. Greg Zuerlein, higher than 1.5 extra points made. I think the Jets scored 2 touchdowns at least. So Greg Zuerlein will have 2 extra points made. Aaron Rodgers, lower than 32.5 passing attempts. I don't see the Jets wanting to throw a ton in this game, especially if they get up. I think they want to get the run game going. I expect the run game to be going. I expect Brees to play better. I expect AVT and Joe Tippmann and John Simpson and Morgan Moses and Tyron Smith to block better in the run game. Pass protection, they were very good. I thought Rodgers had plenty of time. But I want them to run the ball. There's some rain in the forecast. I could see Aaron throwing under 32.5 times. So I'm going lower on that number. And then Garrett Wilson, as long as his receptions is in the 5 or 6 range, I'm playing the higher on that every week. He had 11 targets last week. There were more opportunities out there if you watch the film. Couple plays. One Aaron missed him. One Garrett couldn't get his toe in bounds. Garrett Wilson, higher than 5.5 receptions. Those are the 3 picks I'm making. The CD one is a freebie. I feel good. What do you guys think of my pick'em entry here? Yay or nay? Use promo code Asman and sign up, and you got a chance to make your own picks with Underdog Fantasy. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Aaron writes in with a super chat. Dolphins are who we thought they were. Go Jets. Look, it means nothing if the Jets now can't take advantage. You know what I mean? It means nothing. And the Jets don't play the Dolphins till late in the year. Maybe Tua is back by then. Who knows where either team's at? But, you know, people are going to say, oh, now it's just the Jets and the Bills. Well, that's if the Jets handle their business. Win on Sunday. Get to 101. And we'll focus on beating the crap out of the Patriots 6 days from now. That's the bottom line. ISU has gifted 1 channel membership. Ladies and gentlemen, the listener who is now an official Asmaniac, according to YouTube, is I would love to tell you, but it's not loading. Someone write in the chat who got it. I can't see it. We're having some issues. But ISU, thank you for paying it forward, my man. Comments, questions, super chats. They will continue to cut the line. Brandon writes in, stack the box against the Titans. It's not rocket science, Salah. It's Salah and Obrick. Have a better game plan. Execute. Jets missed 18 tackles in week 1. That, to me, is preseason rust. Or lack of a preseason, right? That, to me, is key for the Jets. Fundamentally, play better. Play better by tackling better. by setting the edge bet. I mean, it's not rocket science. You're right. You know, this team should be able to go out there and get it done. If they're the team we think they are, they should be able to bottle up the Titans offense. Is Levis going to make some plays? Yeah, and it's the NFL, so it's a week-to-week league. I get that. But at the end of the day, the Jet defense should be able to hold the Titans to under 20 points. Steven writes in, just made the same picks on Underdog. Make me some money, Jake. I'm going to try. I feel good about those picks, but you never know. You never know. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. We'll take some calls here coming up. The big fella writes in, Jake just realized I'm on the same flight as Fireman Ed. Lots of Jet fans on this flight. Love that. Well, big fella, go up to Fireman Ed and tell him you're an Asmaniac. Love that. Get the Jet chant going, big fella. You heard Ed say he can't be the one to do it, but you could. Or put Ed on your shoulders and lead a Jet chant. Ed's a little bigger than I am, though, big fella, so be careful. Fireman Ed is jacked. Jacked. Will says Titans only scored 10 points on offense versus the Bears. I mean, they were not good offensively, and Levis threw a terrible interception. So we'll see. Going through the Jets injury report, Javon Kinlaw did not practice. They say not injury related, it's personal, so I don't know what's going on. I hope everything is okay with him. Michael Carter has been limited these first 2 days with an ankle. They expect him to play, but you don't know. Michael Clemens has a triceps injury. He went from a full part spin on Wednesday to limited yesterday, so that's something to watch. DJ Reed's been limited this week, although Jeff Obrick said yesterday they expect him to play. You'll see Tyron Smith on the injury report every week. They gave him a veteran's rest day Wednesday, and he was limited yesterday. He's going to play. You don't need him to practice. Ashton Davis and Mike Williams listed on the report, but both are full participants. They said yesterday they want to give Mike Williams more snaps. Let's see it. Man, was I wrong about Mike Williams finding the end zone, huh? Played four plays or 9 plays, whatever it was. Maybe I was a week off. Oh, Kinlaw had a baby. Okay. Well, congrats on the sex. There you go. I'm happy for him and his family. So he's all right. Good.
I'm going to lose my gosh darn bananas.
We know Boy Green knows a thing or two about sweet and passionate love. He'll be on with us at Ford today, by the way. Ladies and gentlemen, more of your calls, or I guess your calls right now. First up on the Gusbuster hotline today is Doug, who is on the couch. Hello, Doug.
Had to bring back the couch, bring back the good mojo. One, like, non-Jets thing. For Tua, if I was him, I'd retire. Like, people gave shit to Andrew Luck and Luke Kuechly for retiring early, but, like, they're happy and healthy. So, like, at the end of the day, Tua got his payday. Hang him up. Retire. Second thing, that Hugo House hat. What's the promo code? The guy who was wearing the Brees Hall hat yesterday? Because that's a nice hat, and I would like to get that hat.
Promo code Asman, but it's not a Brees Hall hat. It is an Aaron Rodgers year 20 hat.
Oh, even still, very nice hat. I'd like to get
I'm
that.
actually convinced no one listens to this show. How could you think this was a Brees Hall hat, Doug?
Well, I saw the number 20.
Yeah, but it's clearly a quarterback throwing. That's a silhouette of Aaron.
I saw it was like a green and white Jets hat, and I saw the number. I saw the 20, and I didn't see the quarterback throwing.
You could call it a Rodgers and Brees hat if you want, if that makes you feel better.
It does make me feel better. It doesn't make me feel stupid.
Just go to HugoHouse.com and use promo code Asman. They're going to sell out by the end of today. They told me yesterday they probably were going to sell out, but I checked this morning. It looks like there's still a few available.
Yeah, because that's a very nice hat. And then, like, on to Sunday, I'm not worried about it. Like, just play well, and we should win. Like, the Titans are not that good. they're going to be stingy on defense. But with Jamal Adams, blitz boy playing, there's going to be a lot of open passing. So, we're going to be able to burn him. I would love to see him get burnt a couple of times. That'd be good justice for the Jets fans. And I just hope for a nice, easy win. Well, we never get easy wins except for 1 or 2 random wins throughout the year. But it would be nice to have a nice, easy win on Sunday. And then we murder the Patriots Thursday night in the home opener.
Yeah, you know what? I'd sign for that. Where do I sign? You have the contract ready?
Yeah, life's never easy for us Jets fans. But
no.
Hoping the couch brings back the good mojo, and then we just go on a run. Who knows? What could maybe we go 15-1. It's not going to happen, but you never know.
Well, 16-1.
Yeah, 16-1. Sorry, I forget.
There you go.
There's 17 games next year. It'd be 17-1 probably because there's going to be 18 games next year probably at this point.
Doug, thank you. Doug on the couch, ladies and gentlemen. As far as Tua retiring, I mean, look, he got paid a lot of money. I don't think he's going to walk away. I think he's going to try and come back. I'd be surprised. Now, some of his money is guaranteed for injury, but if he retires and he's still medically cleared to play, then there's all these lawsuits on how much he's actually owed. I don't expect him to retire. I don't. Now, we could argue whether or not that's the right decision, but I don't know. Jake in a box with a super chat. Last season, I predicted in a super chat Lazard would outproduce more than any tight end. I hope the Raiders stink and we could trade Adams for Reddick. See, here's my thing with the Reddick trade for Devontae. Why would the Raiders want to sign Reddick? They're going nowhere. In this scenario where they're trading Devontae, they're out of it. So then why do they want Reddick, who's a free agent? They're going to pay him? I don't really understand the logic there. That said, Lazard showed a pulse. Peter Castro was maybe onto something back in July or June with that $500 super chat. Now we just got to see Lazard build on what he did. If he could limit the drop on the opening drive, that'd be nice, right? But he had a good game. He's in a much better headspace. Jersey Jet with a super chat. I didn't recognize the defensive spread we used Monday. Did we change something up? Just the Niners, Jets, 13-4. They always play wide 9, but they lined up, it felt like, especially wide. And we showed it on film this week. I think they were so scared of the Niners' weapons. It's like, newsflash. You have the best secondary cover corners in the league. All right? Trust them. You get beat, but getting gassed in the run game and giving Aaron Rodgers no time of possession is not how you win. Aaron writes in, Jets will win Sunday. Let's expect it. Let's go. I expect they win, and there'll be hell to pay if they don't. I'll be in a bad state for the 3 days leading up to the home opener. A bad state. All right, you don't want to see me. And the post-game show, I'm on the radio right after the game Sunday. I'm going over to ESPN, doing my show till 7, and then I'll do the post-game show on YouTube after that. So I'm on ESPN 880, ESPN New York, from like 4:30 to or 5-ish, whenever the Met broadcast ends on the station. I'm on ESPN till 7 doing my Sunday show, and then I will be doing the post-game on YouTube after that. Ladies and gentlemen, this guy is en route to Nashville to bring us a Jet W. He is on the same flight as Fireman Ed. The great big fella is next, and he joins us now. What's up, big fella?
Hey, what's up, man? It's a sea of green out here, man.
Give us a feel. Give us a little look at the
everybody, hold on. Take a look here. There you go.
All right.
I'll walk over here. Hold on a second.
Tell people you're on the Jake Asman show. Let's see if people know.
I just did, yeah. Hold on a second. Yo, you guys know the Jake Asman show? The Jake Asman show for the Jets? I've heard of him. Yeah. Well, you're on it right now.
Yeah.
Let's go, Jets.
Let's go, baby.
Jet up. So
a jet up all around.
Lots of Jet fans here, my man. It's going to be good.
I love it.
We're ready to take over Nashville, baby.
Are you putting Fireman Ed on your shoulders on the plane?
No, I'm not putting Fireman Ed on my shoulders, man.
Just me?
I don't think so, but yeah. Lots of people here, man. We're getting ready to rock Nissan Stadium, you know what I mean?
Do you feel the energy, big fella? You have good vibes?
I feel the vibes, bro. I don't like that term, but I feel the vibes, my man.
You feel it. Okay.
Yeah. So, anyway, what's funny is, like, I missed Fireman Ed on your show, but then I saw him walk up to the gate. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, this is crazy.
Is he wearing the hat, the helmet?
No. He wasn't wearing a hat, but yeah.
You know what's so funny? Because I've been with Ed at like tailgates beforehand, and it's like it's almost like when Clark Kent takes off the glasses, he's Superman, but when he puts them on, no one recognizes him. Or or maybe that's Spider-Man. I forget which. Where's Charles Gorman to help me out with this? But when they remove the glasses, all of a sudden they're that hero. They put the glasses on, and no one recognizes them. That's like Ed with the helmet. When he puts it on, he's Fireman Ed. When he takes it off, no one recognizes him. It's amazing.
Brother, you recognized him for sure. So anyway, just wanted to give you a heads up. Lots of Jet fans going down. We're going to rock that place, and we're going to pull in a victory, my man.
Big fella, bring us home a win, and send us some videos of the Jet chants on the plane. Put it in the Discord, all right?
Yeah. If they do it.
If they do it. Come on now.
Yeah, I know they'll do it, bro. All right. Anyway, take care, man. Have a good one.
You got it, big fella. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, the big fella. Live from the Newark airport. We got to see if Jet fans making this trip. They got to get a win, man. This fan base, we need it. We need a win. I mean, there's no more brutal feeling than traveling to see your team and they lose. I did it twice last year. Dallas and then Vegas. It's the worst. Hit the like button if you're tuning in. Subscribe to the channel by clicking the red subscribe button on the right. That small little red icon. Click that. We talk Jets every day. Monday through Friday, twice a day, post-game shows after every game. This is what we do here, baby. It's all happening. Reminder, watch party, Sunday, RSVP if you haven't already. T-Squared Social, Midtown Manhattan. Going to be electric. More calls right now. We say hello to NY Jets Florida, a.k.a. Ted. Ted, hello.
Jake, good morning. Couple things. The Bills' defense is very suspect. I'm not trying to jump too far ahead, but the Dolphins running back, Akan, he had almost 100 yards rushing and receiving. So just to do a scouting report on the Bills, I wasn't that impressed with the Bills, quite honestly. And I don't think they even have a number one receiver. I don't think Shakir, or whatever it is. He's a slot guy. When Josh Allen faces a good defense, he's going to struggle. I'll be honest with you. On the game this weekend, well, he struggles against us, so there you go.
Yeah, but sometimes it's just matchup based. Josh Allen is an outstanding quarterback. He's proven that.
Well, I'm not denying that. I'm just saying against a top defense, if they play the 49ers, I think he's going to struggle against that team. Let's just say that.
I hope he does.
Yeah, I gotcha. Jake, on this week's game, can we just come out on 3 and 4 wides, score early, get up double digits, and make them one-dimensional? I don't want to see this 3 and out, let's get into the game and hand the ball off to Brees twice. Spread the ball out, put Aaron in the shotgun. I mean, can we just be aggressive? We're the better team on paper. Right?
I mean, I agree, but I feel like that's easier said than done.
Why? That's the problem with Salah. That's my problem with Salah. You have
the other team gets paid too.
I know, but they have Will Levis. So you go in there.
They should win, Ted, but to dominate the game, I mean, it's early, man. It's still early in the season. The weather might not be great. It wouldn't surprise me if this is a game like the Jets got dominated, but it was 16-7 at halftime. I think it's one of those games where if the Jets pull away late, I could see it, but I think it's going to be close through the first 3 quarters. I think it's a 1-score game in the 4th.
I just don't want to give them hope that they're going to come back with Will Levis. You know what I mean? I want to get on top of them fast, try to get up 10-0 and let's see then Levis is basically, I don't know if he's forced to throw, but I'm sure the philosophy will change knowing that we still have Rodgers and we have a good defense. I don't know, Jake. I just think Salah has to be a little more aggressive in terms of game management in this week. Just my opinion.
Yeah, I think defensively they gotta dominate. They should dominate. Play the Zach Wilson defense against Will Levis and challenge Will Levis to beat you.
Exactly. All right, Jake. Have fun at T-Squared this weekend. We'll see after the we'll see before then, but I wish I could be there for that one. But have a
You'll
good,
be there in
good
spirit,
today,
Ted.
Jake. Thank you, Jake. Have a good.
You got it, Ted. Ted checking in. Ladies and gentlemen, hit the like button if you haven't done so already. Super chats will cut the line. We got more calls coming up here. Jay writes in, Ted, we all want to win 35-0, no sweat. It's not happening. Yeah, I mean, like, sometimes the Jets were 9-2 in 2010. Remember how many close games they had to win to get to that record? Like, just win. Just win. Boomtown says, why can't we just go up 35-0 and rest our starters? Yeah, why not? Why can't I just state Margot Robbie? You know, why not? I mean, I do think the Jets scoring and playing with a lead will be helpful. Now, they had the 7-3 lead against the Niners, but you know, the level of team you're playing is certainly a lot different. Carly says, why can't I date Jimmy G? Well, he's, I think, dating a porn star, or he was. I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, more of your calls right now. We say hello to another caller who's down in Florida, Tim from Fishland. Hello, Tim.
Morning, Jake. Boy, oh boy, you are totally right. Karma is a bitch. You got to go back and watch TD's live stream. It was absolutely hysterical. Even before the injury, when Tua threw that pick six, I was crying. That's how funny it was. And then shout out to Lowski getting blocked by TD.
Lowski got blocked by TD?
So, but that goes to show you, I don't wish injury upon anything. I want Tua to play all season because I want to play the best of what they got. Okay, but if you want to sit there and talk shit about our quarterback last year, you know how many damn texts I have from freaking Dolphin fans talking shit? I'm going to take the higher route because you know what? We're a class of fans. The Jet fans are a better fan than the Dolphin fans ever will be. All right?
Yeah, I mean, that goes without saying. I mean, when the Jets play in South Florida, it's at the building's Jet fans.
Yeah, so it is what it is. But I think in the game on the Titans, the Jets need to come out hard play action. They need to open up the passing game to open up the running game. I really do, because I think that they're gonna key in and try and stop Brees first. And I don't think they're gonna key on Rodgers, airing it out. I think that's a big thing. Conklin should have a big game. I expect a lot out of him. I expect a lot out of maybe even Gibson. All right. They got two good corners over there. So, you can't rely on Garrett and Brees all the time. You need other guys to do their job too. So.
Well, you can rely on them, but you have to have more long, sustainable drives where you get other guys involved, because then it opens things up. Like that's the bottom line. I mean, Aaron Rodgers only played 38 total snaps in week 1 on Monday. Like, that's just not good enough.
Yep. All right, Jake. You have a good day.
Tim, you as well. Appreciate the call. The Jets handle their business. They're the better team, but it will not be easy. If it's easy, I will come on and say I'm glad I was wrong. But I think it's going to be a stressful game. I think they find a way to win because they're the better team. They got Aaron Rodgers. And at the end of the day, we could break down the matchups. So much of it is who's your quarterback. And when was the last time, at least on paper, the Jets entered a game with a sizable quarterback advantage? Sizable. You probably would have to go back to 2015 Fitzpatrick against one of the bad teams they played during that run when they were on their winning streak. But seriously, when's the last time the Jets entered a game with a sizable quarterback advantage? Not like toss-up. Like, you could say Purdy versus Rodgers was a toss-up with the unknown and what Rodgers is off the injury and all that. That's why I like the Jets this week. They got to find a way to get it done. And if they do that, we focus on winning Thursday, and a week from right now, this team's got to be 2-1. With 10 days to get ready for a rookie quarterback in Bo Nix. Season will turn quick, but they got to handle business Sunday first. That's it. Handle business first. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. A lot of people tuning in maybe for the first time all week. You're moving past the debacle on Monday. You're looking ahead to Sunday. Find a way to get it done. That's really it. Now, yesterday, I did a show talking about the latest with Haason Reddick. This was Connor Hughes on SNY giving us a breakdown on where things stand, as it feels like Haason is about to miss a second game check, which is going to cost him nearly $800,000. This was Connor Hughes on SNY.
Every day to every other day, I text and call 4 different people to ask what's the update. And ever since minicamp, I have been told there is no update. I have friends that ask me, you guys ask me, everyone who knows me asks me what's going on with Haason Reddick, and they want to know why nothing's changed. But the fact is that nothing has changed with Reddick. And I can tell you that the two sides are at least talking. There's been communication between Torrey Dandy and Joe Douglas, but both sides remain dug in. The Jets are not willing to negotiate a new contract for Reddick until he shows up. Reddick is not going to show up until he gets a new contract. Right now, that's the stance. And I know I've talked to people that know Reddick. I don't know him very well, aside from that brief interaction I had with him at his charity event. But from the people that know him well, they say that they believe he is the type of person that would be willing to hold out the entire season until he gets what he wants. Now, will that happen? I don't necessarily know, but you made a good point. I don't know if he's necessarily switching from luxury to necessity yet after the Jets couldn't sniff Brock Purdy, because I believe a lot of the pressure that the defense did not create was because of how successful the 49ers were on the ground. Haason Reddick is not going to make any difference in the run game. But if they can't stop the Titans' rushing attack of Tony Pollard and then can't pressure Will Levis, and then it continues into week 3 against the Patriots, maybe Joe Douglas softens his stance. But right now, it's the exact same thing we've been saying since minicamp, the exact same thing at different points during training camp. Reddick, not willing to show him until he gets a new deal. Jets, not willing to give him that new deal until he shows up. So it is still a standoff with no end in sight.
Doesn't make any sense. Why cost yourself all this money? And with or without Reddick, it's no excuse to lose to the Titans. Because remember, we talked about, the Jets lose week 1. Reddick gets all this leverage. And I said, I don't buy it because look at the Jets' schedule. One game, even how poorly the defense plays, that doesn't change my opinion on that. But they got to play better Sunday because no one expected the defense to look like that. I thought the Jets were going to lose Monday. They lose a close game. I get dominated with their strength being dominated, the Jet defense. This was Jeff Ulbrich yesterday on the defense.
No, I'm extremely confident in the group we have. I love every single guy we got in that defensive line room, and they got a lot of pride, and I anticipate them answering the call this week. I really do.
Let's see it. Talk is cheap until you prove it, and they got to prove it. That's it. They got to prove it. More of your calls right now. Gusbuster hotline's open. Josh Mock is on the line. Hey, Josh.
Hey, what's up, man? This is my first time calling in. Cool beans.
Welcome aboard.
Yes, sir. Big fan, man. I've been following you for a couple of years. So I just want to talk about that game. I think would have been a better game and a lot closer game if we just gave up the big scores. Just big plays instead of, 8-minute drives and whatnot. Because I think we would have been able to keep up with them offensively had we had the ball more. And I would have much rather see a shootout between Rodgers and the San Francisco 49ers and our defense just 8 minutes on the field at a time. You know what I mean? I don't know what you think about that, but
maybe, but you can't play football that way. Like we're just.
You can't. I'm not saying like actually give up the plays, like let them walk in. I'm saying like you see these games between like the Rams and KC back in the day, where it's like defense throw on the field maybe 2 minutes at a time, and then the offense just gets into a shootout. And I was kind of hoping for that, but maybe it will develop into that. Other thing is.
Or the defense could just play better, Josh. They could play like a defense that has a bunch of Pro Bowl and all pros on it.
I agree. We obviously want to be good on both ends of the ball, but I'm just saying we've not seen a good offense in a long time. So to see a shootout from our offensive side, because it's just two elite offenses, I think, in my opinion, would be more fun as a Jets fan from what I've seen in the last 10 years. But yeah, I'll be at the Titans game, man, this Sunday. I live in Nashville. So.
I was gonna say, are you from there though? Because you got the accent. You got a Southern
yeah,
accent.
let's say I might be the first actual Southerner to come on this show. I don't know, but yeah, my whole family's from Jersey, so I've lived here most of my life, and my grandpa's a diehard Jets fan. I'm a diehard Jets fan, and yeah, so I just carried on, passing it on to my kids.
I love it. Are you the only Jet fan that you know down there?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I met one a couple years ago, and back Geno Smith days, man. That's how long ago it was. And we stayed in touch for a little bit. But, yeah, man, we're real rare until we go to the games. And then Jets fans pop out the woodworks because I've been to a couple of Jets-Titans games, and I'm really shocked by how many people pop up here. But, yeah, I'm stoked, man, because last time we were here, Josh McCown was quarterback. That's the last time I got to see him play. So, pretty stoked, man. But thanks for having me on. Good.
Hey, Josh, great call, man. Call back soon. All right. Give us give us more of your time. Excellent job.
Absolutely.
I love it. Josh down in Tennessee. Family's from Jersey. Diehard Jet fan. Love that. Now I'll tell you what. Josh wants a shootout. One of our own is predicting a shootout.
Great game. I know Aaron Rodgers did well tonight. Look, it's only one game. Everybody's complaining that the season's over. Week 2, they're playing Tennessee. We're going to win. I guarantee that they're going to win 37-29.
37-29 per the Lane Train. Hey, I got some exciting news, folks. Tomorrow's big guest has just been booked for a Saturday show. I'm never not working. I love this show. I love the Asmaniacs. 11 a.m. tomorrow. The Buffalo Jet fan is on the show. Get pumped. Little Saturday program. Hopefully I'm not too hungover. We'll worry about that tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, Kyle Clifton is up next, and then we got a real treat for you on the line right after him. What's up, Kyle?
I kind of feel like I'm a real treat, but thank you.
No, you are a treat. I just, when you find out who's next after this person was mentioned for something he did, you'll understand.
I understand. So, Tua, I don't think money is going to be an issue with him. I can't see the Dolphins going after his signing bonus. It'd be a PR nightmare for them. They probably would even cede some of his guaranteed money in the new deal. If you remember Andrew Luck, I think they honored his entire contract. I don't think that the Dolphins would go that far. But, the guy's got 2 young kids. He's going into fencing position after a 3rd concussion in 2 years. And they suspect that he's had multiple other concussions. To me, I think the league is going to probably apply a lot of pressure here and look to force him out the door. It's a shame. It seems like he's a good kid. He's turned himself into a much better player than I ever thought he would be. It's not a competitive thing. It's not like I'm afraid of him. And I wish him well. And I know he's probably going to want to continue to play because that's what competitors do. But I think the smart thing to do for him is to go out the door. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's still a lot of money, though. You know what I mean? It's a ton of money.
Yeah, but when you have 2 young kids like that, it's a different story. And you've already made he's a top 10 pick. He's already had his first contract. He's got a $46 million signing bonus. That there's no way that they won't. There's no way. There's no way I can see unless the competitor in him takes over and he decides, oh, this is something I want to give one more try. But I mean, it's hard to watch, right? I mean, you were there last night. You watching on television. It's difficult.
Yeah, look, I just looking at his contract, right? He had 167 million guaranteed for injury, 43 million of which has been paid in 2024. So if he's medically cleared to return to football, but he opts to retire, he forgoes the remaining 124 million guaranteed. If he's medically forced into retirement, he has a right to collect the $124 million remaining. But Darren Rovell, who covers sports business, he then tweeted, if that happens, that would result in like a 5-year arbitration / trial between Tua, the Dolphins, the doctors, the insurers. If the guy could play football, I think he's going to want to play football.
All right. As far as this weekend goes, better quarterback, better players at the skill positions, better offensive line, better defense. Got to win.
That's it.
Right. Thanks, Jake.
Kyle, appreciate you. You play to win the game. Gator says, just bought me 2 Huga House number 20 Rodgers hats. Thanks for the discount, Jake. My pleasure. The Aaron Rodgers Brees Hall hat, as Doug on the couch put it. These are going to sell out by the end of the day. I was told yesterday they were going to be done, and I checked this morning. There's only a few left. Promo code Asman. If you buy one hat, you get the second hat 30% off, by the way. Keep that in mind. Cincy Matt checks in. ESPN just put out 4 potential trade options for Haason, which includes him to the Bengals. Is it becoming more likely he gets traded? I have no idea. I don't. I mean, I don't think the Jets are doing themselves any favors if they trade him. Like, why? You're not getting anything from him. So, I don't see it. Are the Bengals going to give him a new contract, Cincy Matt? I mean, you know the franchise more than me. They've yet to pay Jamar Chase. They're going to give Reddick a 2-year, $50 million contract. I mean, that's the question. Someone wrote, why is Tua not sliding? I think his natural instincts took over on that play. Right? 4th down, game's on the line. J.J. Watt made a good point about this on Twitter. You don't know where the yellow line is when you're in real time. You don't see it. So you're just like trying to guarantee you got the yardage for the first down. And if you slide, it's where you start your slide where you're ruled down. So I think just he was being a football player. Fortunately, he's got a history of head injuries, and now he might have cost himself a season. I don't want to say career, but that's obviously something people are talking about today. Look, from a Jet standpoint, though, it's why I said it's a year-to-year league when we talk about injuries and Rodgers staying healthy. It's like we had the same conversations about Tua all last offseason, and ironically, he stayed healthy. But now we're seeing it already, right? Quarterbacks go down. We're going to watch Jordan Love's backup, Malik Willis, play this week. We're now going to watch Skylar Thompson play for the Dolphins. If I'm the Dolphins, by the way, I'd sign Tannehill. I think he's better than Skylar Thompson. But we'll see. Ladies and gentlemen, this guy last night was apparently blocked by TD Finstalk. Ladies and gentlemen, King Lowski joins us now. Hello, King.
Jake, my brother. It's always good to see you on this Friday, my brother. Let me just be calm because I got to save my voice for this Sunday and for Wednesday because I'm a man. But let me just say this first and foremost. This is not a fish podcast. This is a JETS, Jets podcast. But I'm going to speak a little bit on these fraud fish. Okay? All you fraud fish fans that was wishing on Aaron Rodgers' downfall, that was sitting up there saying, oh, what if your man's washed up? Is your man going to survive all this season? Okay. Now, when Tua went down 2 years ago, we wasn't saying all of that. We wasn't on y'all case like that. We wasn't on y'all bumper like that. We were sitting up just saying prayers for Tua. And today, we will say prayers for Tua. But that's what your ass get. Okay? Let me tell you something. Even before that fraud fish got hurt, he was throwing picks left and right. You get a pick. You get a pick. You get a pick. A Tua Oprah. Okay? Let me tell you something, you fraud fish. Y'all wasn't good with him on the field or not. The only thing I'm praying, the only thing I'm hoping for as far as the franchising teams goes is that bump comes back week 14 and we can finally get that monkey off our back talking about Tua undefeated against the Jets. Because we all know if we put it in context, he ain't that good against us. So let me just say this, baby. Shout out to Fireman ED, the big fella, all of you Jet fans out there, baby. I can't wait to see y'all in Tennessee. Okay? Shout out to Nick Shine, Rick Kent, Jay Quest, Nate, Johnny Boy, all of the guys that was in these fraud fish chats with me, pretending to be fish fans, saying tank for Cam Ward, tank for Beck, tank for Shador Sanders. Shout out to the ass maniacs because y'all we are all one. We are all one mindset at the end of the day when it comes to this division, baby. I just want to say at the end of the day, This division is ours. Okay? I'm not worried about Buffalo. Buffalo played a bad team last night. Let's call a spade a spade. They played another bad team last night. Okay? 2 bad teams in a row. So let's not look too far ahead. It's a week by week league. We on to Tennessee. Then we're gonna be on to these punk ass Patriots. Okay? So we're not looking too far ahead. We got a good game coming up Thursday. We got a good game coming up Sunday. I'm all cool, baby. But you fraud fish deserve what you had coming to you. JTS! Just.
Ladies and gentlemen, King Lowski. Salute. Look, here's the bottom line. It means nothing if the Jets can't take advantage of it, right? Handle your business. This is the weakest Buffalo's been, I think, in years from a roster standpoint. They got the best quarterback, sure, but Jets match up well with that quarterback. They've beaten that quarterback the last 2 seasons. They have to handle their business now. They got to win Sunday. Boba Jet says, would you trade Reddick straight up for McLaurin? Yeah, obviously. Terry McLaurin, who's what, 25, 26? Yeah, I would. That deal's not on the table, though. You have to ask yourself this when you put Reddick in trade scenarios. Why is someone acquiring him now, given how he's acted? That's the bottom line. Will says, Dolphins fans talk shit about the Jets being trash for decades when they've been worse. That's what always has drove me crazy. Like, we as Jet fans, we know what the Jets have been bad. The Dolphins act as though they have won all these championships. The last time they won a playoff game, Bill Clinton was in office. The Jets, who have the longest playoff drought in North American sports, them and the Buffalo Sabres of the NHL, the Jets have won 6 playoff games since the last time Miami won a single playoff game. Think about that. They haven't been in the playoffs since 2010. So, Dolphins fans drive me nuts because they're delusional. No, I mean, that's it. I mean, frauds. They are frauds. More calls right now. Dan's in Atlanta. He's next. Hey, Dan.
What's up, Jake? How we doing?
What's up, Dan? You tell me.
Man, I just hope we win this weekend. That last game was not a fun watch, but like you said, it's week 1. I just wanted to get your take on Reddick. Like, who do you think would even want to trade for him? And also, if we do end up trading,
how about we trade him to the Eagles for Bryce Huff?
Yeah, I'd sign up for that in a heartbeat. Wish we just kept Huff at this point, man. Looks awful in hindsight. But even Huff, like, they're not even using him much in Philly.
No, he's fallen out of flavor in the rotation already. You know, they're talking about how he's got to earn playing time. He's like, he's not getting every down reps. Like, everyone's like, oh, he wanted to be an every down player. Well, he already a game in he's already been removed from that role.
Exactly. Yeah, let's just swap him again. But no, I mean, if we do end up trading him, like, what's our plan going forward? Because this current D-line room is not deep enough to do anything in the playoffs, in my opinion.
Well, I think we got to wait and see, right? We got to see if McDonald could take a step. He wasn't good in week 1, but no one was. The entire defense. Jermaine was bad in week 1. You know, the whole defense didn't play well. I mean, what do? I mean, you got to hope the offense is a lot better than, you know, where they've been the last couple of years, which by accident they will be. But I don't know if the Jets trade Reddick. I think it's the wrong move to trade him. Like, I think you make an example out of him if he's dumb enough to continue to not show up. You know, what are you going to get for him?
Yeah, I mean, do you really think he'll hold out the whole year? Like, that's unprecedented.
I don't, but
like,
I've
never seen anybody do that.
No, and I never thought, Dan, we'd get to this point because I gave the Jets, I guess, too much credit because when they made the deal, I'm like, well, obviously they felt like they were pretty close to hammering out a new deal if they made the trade. And then when he didn't show up, I was like, okay, this usually gets worked out. You know, we saw CD get paid. We saw all these guys that, you know, Trent Williams, Ayuk, but the Jets are the only team that couldn't work it out. And I didn't want to kill the Jets necessarily because you have people who hate the Jets, like Mike Lombardi, saying Reddick's agents are stupid or Reddick's stupid for this. So the whole thing's just a giant mess, but it's a bad look because you could have had Clowney. You could have just paid Huff and kept him. So it's a bad look.
Yeah, I mean, do you think that's a potential trade we make at some point, Clowney? That'd be nice.
Yeah,
I'd take
actually,
him.
I mean, the Panthers stink, so
Yeah,
maybe.
exactly. We'll see, I guess.
Yeah, good call, Dan. Are you from New York originally?
Yeah, I'm from Orange County originally. Moved to Atlanta a couple years ago.
Very nice.
Yes, sir. But thanks for the call, man. Go Jets.
You got it, Dan. Appreciate you. Dan in Atlanta. Dan, are you a Met fan, by the way? Right in the chat. That's a big series coming up to the Mets and Braves. Speaking of the Mets, this guy's a Met fan. We say hello to Gary, who's next. Hello, Gary.
What's going on, Jake? Sorry about that. Can you hear me okay?
We hear you, yep.
Okay. As far as Reddick, like it's time to just move on. Like he's not here. If you're the staff, right? I mean, there's no more planning.
Well, that's how they've operated. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. It's if they come to an agreement, great. But like, I'm actually ready for him not to play this year. Again, like I don't think you're gonna trade him because no one else wanted to trade for him. That's why you got him for a bag of donuts because no one else wanted him. So now, like, how are you gonna go around and trade someone?
What type of donuts? Krispy Kreme, Dunkin' Donuts, Shipley.
Oh, you lived in Texas for 5 years.
You got like Shipley in Dallas, right? Dude, Shipley is unreal.
No relation to Jordan Shipley, though. I was disappointed when I found that out.
Yeah.
Remember Jordan Shipley and Jackson Shipley?
I do.
No relation.
I know. Yep.
What years were you in Tech? You were the Sam Ellinger?
2018 till March of 2024.
This past year. Okay. So the Longhorns, outside of the Sugar Bowl year, the Longhorns were never good when you were there, right? Really? Like 8 and
Well, last year they were.
Oh, yeah, you were still there for that. Okay. But that was it, right? They were never really like a good team. So you never really.
No, Texas was never back when I was there for the most part.
All right. Anyway, back to Reddick. It's time to move on. Like, it just act like he's not here. If they get him signed, it's great. But I'm prepared for him not to play this year, and I've never said that before. I don't. It seems crazy to me because no one else is going to trade for him. So you're just going to sit out a year and then be in the same position next year. It's wild, but that's what it seems like it's going to be.
Or he just assumes the Jets will eventually trade him in the offseason.
But then he's still got the same contract, though. Then someone else at 30 is going to have to give him the contract he didn't get at 29. I mean, it just seems unlikely. If he doesn't get it today, he's not 23 where he's going to get better. He's 29 where he's going to get worse. So if you don't get it now, you're not going to get it at 30. You know what I'm saying? It's just going to get, the offers are going to go down. So I'm saying the Jets were in the power of position here, right? Like they really were. And Reddick held out. And eventually I thought he would have to cave and he'd have to get somewhat of a team-friendly deal, right? Like it'd have to meet more on the Jet side than they would on his side. And he just seems unwilling to do that. It seems like he wants to be paid like a top 5 DN and no one's willing to pay you that. You're only worth what someone's willing to pay you, right? I mean, we can look at his stats and we can look at his career, but if no one's willing to pay him that, he ain't worth it. But on Sunday, we're going to blow out the Titans.
Oh, God.
We're going to come back.
I don't like you were wrong last week. I don't like this.
27-3. It's going to be. Did you see the Titans versus the Bears? It was possibly the ugliest thing I'd ever seen in my life. They lost to the Bears. They got 24 points. The Bears didn't score an offensive touchdown. They scored 24. None of the touchdowns came on offense.
I know.
Their defense is horrible. It was maybe the worst game I've ever seen any team play. The Jets are going to go in there, chip on their shoulder. The defense is going to be absolutely clicking. And the offense last week, really, besides the turnovers, the offense wasn't a problem. Like the offense moved the ball. And you're playing the Titans 27-3, Jake. We're going to go in there and we're going to make a statement.
I hope you're right. I think it's going to be a closer game than that.
The Titans look so bad, bro.
It's one game though, man. And like the Bears do have a good defense. So should the Jets. So the Jets should be able to, obviously play a lot better. 27-3 though. I mean, You know, the weather could be a little nasty. It might be tough to throw, so it could be a lower scoring game just based on that. I have the Jets winning. I've gone back and forth with the score. Originally, I was going to go 24-17, but I think the Jets only allow one touchdown on defense and a couple field goals. So I'm on, 24-13, I think is my
13?
prediction. Yeah.
It's reasonable. I think it's going to be a blowout. I think it's a statement game. I think the defense is going to have a chip on
Talent-wise,
it
it should be.
Defense isn't good.
But, it's still the Titans home opener. They don't know they're not supposed to be good yet. Their crowd will be fired up. There'll be a lot of Jet fans there, but their crowd will be into it. It's still the NFL, man. Most games are within a possession in the fourth quarter.
I wanted someone's take on this. When your quarterback is Will Levis, like someone who played competitive football, and maybe someone will answer who calls in later. When your quarterback is Will Levis or Zach Wilson, and he's no good. Like you can say what you want, he's no good. Like, everyone in the locker room knows he's no good. Does that demoralize the team in any way? Like does this bring down the team when the guy, the leader, is no good? Does it demoralize the team? Because Will Levis sucks.
Yeah, I mean, do we know he definitely sucks though? I mean, he hasn't even started a full season worth of games yet.
That way. It certainly looks that way.
He's had moments. I don't think he's good, but like the Jets were able to win games with Zach Wilson at times the last 2 years. Like we saw the formula: run the ball, which the Titans might be able to do; play good defense, which they have some good players there. Snead and Simmons are really good. I just don't think it's as easy as you think it is. I think it's the NFL.
No, I'm just like everyone knows if Zach Wilson has to start for Denver, everyone knows Zach Wilson. Like, let's say everybody gets hurt, Zach Wilson, he sucks, right? Like, I mean, you can't lie to yourself if you're playing defense or you're Alan Lazard. And like, do I really want to get smacked over the middle of the field for this guy? Like, we're not going to win. Zach Wilson's playing quarterback.
Yeah, but the best teams
you start to feel that.
Yeah, eventually you do. We saw that last year with the Jets when I think eventually like the dam kind of broke in that second Bills game where it's just and Salah I think felt it too, which is why he finally benched Zach for Boyle, who somehow was actually worse, which is hard to fathom. But like I think I kind of think that's like for later in the year. Like I think this early on in the year, if you're the Titans, like you're like, all right, we played one game, we were up 17-0. We should be 1-0 right now. Let's go win at home. Like they're not thinking we don't have a chance yet. It's too early for that.
And did you see Isaac Wilson play for the Utah Utes when Cam Rising got hurt last week? Zach Wilson's little brother?
I did not, but when I did have a good relationship with Zach's family, his dad told me that Isaac is way ahead of where Zach was at the same age. That was 2 years ago.
Interesting. Okay.
So,
Because I mean,
I'll tell you what though, Isaac Wilson will not be a Jet. The Jets will not be drafting Isaac Wilson.
They will not.
I can tell you that much. What? Did we lose Gary? Someone please screenshot this and tweet me immediately. This is great. Look at this. It froze for everyone too, right? It's not just me going crazy here and I'm talking to no one, right? Okay, this is great.
Yeah, no, it froze for me. It actually.
Are you back?
I'm here. Yeah. Anyway, interesting. Cam Rising, the quarterback for Utah, who starts over Isaac Wilson. He was in the same high school recruiting class as Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence. That's how long he's been there. That's like a crazy. He was the number 3 recruit out of hhigh school behind Lawrence and Fields. That's
Are we still doing COVID years? That's insane.
7 years. He's got a COVID year. He's got a redshirt year and a medical redshirt year. 7 years.
Well, there's a guy in Miami that's a tight end that's like in year 9 in college. He was like recruited with Justin Herbert. That's how long he's been in school.
I saw this too.
Gary, your internet is unfortunately crapping out, but
yeah.
you had a decent call, so we'll end on a high note.
Knockouts don't matter if you land enough jabs. I mean, you can do music.
God. Yeah, true story though. Zach Wilson's dad, Mike, told me after the Jet Dolphin game in 2022 when the Jets put a 40 burger on Miami, that Isaac, who I met in one of the suites that day, is further along than where Zach was at the same age. So he's probably going to be an NFL quarterback if that's true. I just don't think he'll be a Jet. JC Medina with a super chat. The Dolphins took a big blow yesterday. Pray for Tua, but the Jets have to get serious and go all in to win their division. Got to make a statement Sunday. They got to just win the game. I know we all want these statements, but you take the win, you move on. Now, if the Jets win 2-0, are we going to be thrilled about it? No, but it's better than losing. You don't give the wins back, and you need them. Quick Dolo writes in, been nervous about this Titans game this week, but this morning, Robert Saleh had my Rahway High School football shirt on. Good sign, Jets win. Where is Rahway High School? Where is that? But I am happy for you, Quick, and I hope you're right. Ladies and gentlemen, more of your calls right now. We got some heavy hitters on the line, including this guy. The great Keith Best is next. Hey, Keith.
Hey, Jake. Thanks a lot. Rahway is exit 11 on the New Jersey Turnpike.
There you go.
And Rahway High School is not far off that exit. But, watching the replay of that when Tua ran that ball, his head got crunched and then slapping on the field. That Josh Allen just said I was watching something else. Josh Allen sent a text to him or whatever, email saying, we're all praying for you and all that stuff. And, I feel bad. But I watched that game and I want, the Miami team is going to, without him, I don't know if they're going to be hard to beat. Now in the game coming up, I'm not making any predictions. I made bold predictions last week. For the Niners game, I said, 35-10, and that didn't come. But I think we have a great team. They'll put this one behind them. And I watched a podcast from the Titans this morning. And they're pretty stout. So I hope that all these guys on the defense, don't get me wrong, I thought Aaron Rodgers had a good game against the Niners. He did some scoring drives, but there was a couple drop passes and stuff. But I'm not even going to make a prediction for this week. I'm just going to sit back and watch it.
We go to the game, Keith. Just win the game.
That's it. And go on to the next, just like you just said. There's nothing more than that. Hey, listen, I sent you a text this morning. Get me the address, okay? So I'm sending you something.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. So, and I'll buy some merch when I get back to my laptop today.
Don't worry about it. We'll send you the merch, Keith. Like that shirt you're wearing looks good.
Yeah, I got the Jake Asman show jersey on today.
We see it. It looks good.
And a lot of people in the hospital know you, and they walk by me and they say, "Go Jets!" It's crazy. Because I live in Miami. I live in Miami Dolphinsville. So anyway, all right. Thanks for taking me. I have to go back upstairs in about 5 minutes, but great to be alive. I feel so bad for Tua. Watching that play, I don't know if you're going to come back from that. And he had prior concussions through the years, and that one, if you watch that replay, that one looks really serious. And even if you walk off the field, and thank God the NFL's got restrictions on getting back on the field. Maybe they're too, people are going to say they're too tight. You're trying to keep the guy alive and move on. But that's enough out of me. But thanks for having me on, Jake.
Keith, all the best, man. Appreciate your call as always. It was a scary situation. You don't root for that. But it's also karma for all these asshole Dolphin fans who couldn't wait to dump on Aaron Rodgers last year, and Jet fans. I saw all the receipts come up last night, and I'm not rooting for that. I wish Tua all the best. But you spent all offseason, Aaron Rodgers can't stay healthy. It's like, are we that stupid? Because Tua made it through 1 year. Now all of a sudden he's not concussion prone. That's the thing with concussions. All it takes is one hit. It's a year-to-year league, man. Year-to-year league. Delvis writes in, hey, Jake, is it just me or this Titans game feels like a trap game in typical Jets fashion? Is it time to panic if we somehow walk out of Sunday 0-2? If they're 0-2, you should panic. Now, is the season over? No, but does Thursday night become a must-win? Yeah, then you start talking about the Jets lose when they fire Saleh. And I don't think I don't think that will happen because I think the Jets win Sunday and like they'll win on Thursday. But like that's where the conversation goes going into this game on Thursday. They're 0-2 and they look bad, or the defense gets gashed again. I don't think that's going to happen though. I think the Jets will play way better defensively. I think if they protect Rodgers like they did against the Niners, they'll make enough plays, they'll win the game. That's how I feel. But yeah, they're 0-2. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and tell you the season's over. There's been plenty of teams that have been 0-2 and rallied and won Super Bowls. But 0-2 with a short week in your home opener, it's a hostile crowd all of a sudden. First 3 and out, we're going to get nervous. More of your calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a rare sight. We have Neil on the line, but he's in the car driving. Hello, Neil.
What's up, Jake?
Neil, how is your wife doing? Uh-oh. Now, this is a great screenshot, too, by the way. Someone screenshot this and tweet me this. Neil, try and call back if you can. Ladies and gentlemen, I asked for screenshots from the Gary call. I want to thank listener Ryan, who's the first I saw this. He just sent me this. When you talk about drafting Zach Wilson's brother, your internet deserves to freeze. This face by Gary just says it all. So I just retweeted this. Tremendous. Let's see what else we got here. Who else tweeted me? At Jake Asman, follow me. Oh my God. Sean Snow. Look at this. Little gas station pizza, baby. Oh my God. Love it. I thought you were a retweet, Sean. Well done, sir. Woody Johnson has tweeted. Without seeing it, I'm guessing he's announcing the uniform combo for Sunday. Let's see. Green on white. There it is. Do I know the Jets or what? So Woody's calling them the green on white. I'm calling them the Peter Griffins. Well, actually, no, the Peter Griffins would be white on green. This is reverse Peters. This is what I thought they'd wear because the Titans are going all white. So it's actually these are not the Peter Griffins. The Peter Griffins were the Week 1 jerseys. AVT and Tyron Smith featured. Let's go. These are elite-looking jerseys. These are the reverse Peter Griffins. Let's get a win on Sunday now. These are good-looking jerseys. I'm in. I am in. Here, by the way, is another photo of that Gary freeze frame. You could tell what Gator maybe doctored the photo with. Amazing. More of your calls right now. Pittsburgh Mike is next. What's up, Mike?
I don't know how I follow Gary and Keith and almost Neil. I'm not a heavy hitter. What do I do?
I disagree, Mike. You provide a lot of rational, sensible takes to the show, and we need more of that.
I haven't called in a while. I'm still the Aaron Rodgers lookalike, I think. I don't know. I got the hat on. So I really enjoyed the Fireman Ed call earlier today. I think a really important point that he made was I'm really tired of seeing everyone say, we should be 4-1 going into the Buffalo game, or, we should win 13 games, whatever it is. It's like, we really need to focus on every single week, focus on beating the team in front of you. I'm not even talking from fans. The players got to do it as well. They have
we have no impact as fans. You got to hope the Jets got humbled on Monday. Defense looked terrible, and they used that as a rallying cry of like, we're not as good as everyone says we are. We got to prove it still. Like, sometimes when you get humbled like that, that's the best thing for a team that's actually talented like the Jets are.
Yeah, and it goes both ways too. I mean, just because you lose week 1 does not mean you're not going to go on a run, and then just because you win week 1 does not mean you're, going to be the best team in the league. So it goes both ways. Focus on the team in front of you. I just hope we beat the Titans this weekend. Yes, they didn't look good last week, but their defense looks pretty good. They do have some amazing players that they sign in free agency that are going to make an impact. So we have to take it seriously, and I hope they are. Another take I wanted to just get your opinion on is, so we saw the next gen stats of Aaron Rodgers in week 1. Primarily, he threw to the left side of the field, like overwhelmingly. The only, play sort of in the middle of the field was that long bomb to Allen Lazard. But I wonder, is that a product of him being hesitant, sort of just getting back into the swing of things, maybe not being so sure of pass pro? Or do you think that's just us not having the ball enough on offense? Wanted to get your opinion about the left side of the field stuff.
Yeah, I think it's a combo of everything you said, right? I think it's just one game, and it's a great defense, and it's his first game back. So let's see if it's now a trend, or it's just like, it's just kind of where the flow of the offense dictated where to throw it to. I mean, the play to Lazard, though, was a throw over the middle, so like, and that was probably Aaron's like best like individual play from the standpoint of like hard count, getting the team off sides. They were prepared, knew where to go with it. Like, so I don't think it's a big deal, Mike, but it's obviously something we'll be following up on Sunday.
Yeah, and he's only going to get better, and
I was encouraged, honestly. That's why I'm like somewhat confident on Sunday that I think they're going to play well and win. I thought Aaron was very good for his first game. Like, the stats don't show it, but you go back and watch the all 22. He could rip it, man. And like, his mind works, and they'll add more plays. They'll get Conklin more involved this week. They'll get Mike Williams more involved. You're not facing the Niners. It's not going to be as hostile of a road environment. Like, there's a lot of things to point to where they should play better. Like, they're too good, I think, to look that bad again.
Yeah, and listen, man, I was just so psyched to see him on the field. Just it was a sight, man. He came out unscathed, looked good. We even got to see Tyrod in a little bit, so that was cool. And you know what? Another amazing thing. Like, look at last year, how many injuries just surmounted, over the course of the season. We have no injuries going into this game on Sunday. They just announced, like, everyone's healthy. Oh, knock on wood. Knock on wood. But I love to see it. And I also got the Aaron Rodgers book. I'm on chapter 3. It's not bad. I'm not much of a reader, but my wife works at a bookstore, so she picked that up for me. So
you're not much of a reader, and your wife works at a bookstore. That's great.
Yeah, she hates it. You should see downstairs. She's got like 2 massive bookshelves, all these books. I'm like, listen, we got to get rid of some stuff. I'm sick of all these books, but no, she's a diehard reader. I'm trying to read more, but everyone check it out. It's not bad.
Yeah, no, we had Ian O'Connor on the show a couple of weeks ago when it first came out.
Yeah, I saw that. You know what? It's cool. I like the fact that Aaron gave a little bit of a little bit to the writer, Ian. But the thing is, it's really not done with Aaron's. He didn't collab on it at all. So
exactly.
I sort of, it is what it is. It's kind of done.
It's a good book, and Ian's a great writer, a great reporter. He's awesome, and like he's very
really
high on the Jets as well. Yeah, no, he's the best. It became a bestseller in the New York Times, I think, a couple of weeks ago. But I mean, he wrote the book on Jeter, wrote the book on Belichick, the Jack Nicklaus book, Coach K. I mean, Ian's as good as anyone.
You know what? The chapter on Aaron's grandpa was awesome, incredible. I recommend everyone read it. It was really interesting to see.
There you go, Mike. I appreciate you, man. Great job.
All right, later,
ladies and gentlemen. Pittsburgh Mike, wife works at a bookstore. Pittsburgh Mike doesn't like to read. Well, they say opposites attract. How about these screenshots that are coming in before we get back to your calls? Neil taking a beating in my mentions on Twitter right now. Here we go. Ryan with a tweet. When you're about to spew 29 separate points, but your internet can't handle it. Oh, my God. Then we got more. Ryan, we got 2 separate Ryans in on this. When you get caught singing in the car before appearing on the Jake Asman show. Oh, man. The one time Neil doesn't call from his normal desk location. Incredible. Kyle Clifton checks in. Promote Martinez to the roster with the Finns looking for a quarterback. Look, if the Miami Dolphins add Adrian Martinez, God bless him. I don't think you're promoting Adrian Martinez to the roster because you're worried about losing him. I don't see that happening. take a deep breath, everyone. All right. You would welcome the Dolphins having to start Adrian Martinez. I'm just glad they don't have Mike White anymore. Because we really all thought last year would be the year. Oh, Mike White's definitely going to play against the Jets. And never happened. Could have happened this year, though, but Mike White's not even there. It's on the Bills practice squad. Skylar Thompson and Tim Boyle are now your two quarterbacks for the Dolphins. Tim Boyle. That Tim Boyle. All right. Couple more calls before we wrap. We're back in 4 hours with the great Boy Green. We say hello to Phil and then Matt. What's up, Phil?
What's up, man? Listen, I heard Zach Wilson's name again as I tuned in. I don't know why. I'm getting kind of fed up with it. I'm like, why are we still talking about Zach? And I vowed I was going to do something here on air with you. And it's just going to happen now because we're talking about him. Good thing it was Fireman ED Friday because we're going to burn Zach Wilson. We're going to get rid of this starting theory. We're going to get rid of him. I don't know what blessings we can put out there, whatever type of sage you want to put in the air. We're going to kill the Denver Broncos. Knicks is going to be running for his life. It's starting to smell a little bit nasty out in here, but that's what Zach Wilson was, nasty and smelly. So we're getting rid of that shit. We're moving forward. Gary, can you stop bringing him up? Stop bringing up Jameis Winston. Let's keep it going. Whatever. Jamal Adams, let's not even think about him. We're going to see his ugly mug this weekend, all that good stuff. Let's just burn it all away. Let it go. Moving forward. Positive. Relax.
I like it, Phil. Maybe every week you could burn a different card for a player the Jets are playing.
I should get his vodka cards. That's
Right?
facts. I should. Actually, I like that idea.
Go express order a Jacoby Brissett football card for this upcoming week.
I think I will. That's dope. It's a good idea.
Phil, I appreciate it, man. Good call. Oh, my God. Boomtown. Zach can't even burn properly. Hawk says God is protecting him. Hawk, you're the worst. But funny. Billy says you don't really know that Jake Martinez looks the part. Have to see him against starters. Are we sure Martinez looks the part? He was okay in the preseason against backups. If the Dolphins want to sign him, God bless. They chose Tim Boyle. They could have signed him off the Jets practice squad before this injury. We all overrate our own players. Remember Chris Trevler? All right. Hit the like button if you're tuned in live right now. Thanks to the over 400 of you who are locked in. Fireman Ed was on with us for the first 30 minutes of the show today. He joined us from the United Club at the Newark Airport. Ed's on a flight right now with the big fella down to Nashville for Jets Titans. Curly says Brett Ratcliffe looked the part in preseason too. He did. Kyle says Martinez is way better than Strebler. He is. I'm just saying, I'm not adding Adrian Martinez to my roster so the Dolphins can't claim him. If they want to claim him, claim him. Matt from Ohio, our final caller today on our first show. What's up, Matt? Matt, you're on the air.
Hey, Jake.
Hey, Matt. Whenever you're ready.
Hey, Jake. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, we hear you, Matt.
Can you hear me at all, Jake?
We hear you.
Hey, Jake. Thanks for having my call. I had a few quick questions regarding the offense. Can you hear me?
Yes, you're on the air, Matt. Go ahead.
Can you hear me okay, Jake?
Oh, we hear you.
I can't hear you.
What gave that away?
Jake, can you hear me at all?
No.
Jake, I'm on. I can't. Can you hear me all right?
Oh, I hear you.
I couldn't hear you at all. So I had a question in regards to Allen Lazard as far as the wide receiver 2 snaps with Mike Williams coming back. Do you think that he'll be able to take a lot of those snaps since he looked okay week 1, or do you think that Mike Williams is going to start taking snaps slowly and start taking some of those reps from him?
Yes, eventually, but not yet. I think we see Lazard play as much, if not more, assuming they have way more plays than what we saw on Monday.
What about Braylon Allen? Do you think they're going to use him more in the short yardage situations? I've thought a few times they could have thrown him in there and given Brees just a rest, but I'd like to see him used a lot more. Even the other guy, Davis, one of those guys got to spell Brees more. I feel like you think that's true too.
Yeah, I would like to see them use Braylon Allen more. I want to see them have more plays, right? I think you'll be able to use more of your personnel if you have more than 38 snaps from the first team offense with Rodgers.
Yeah, no, agreed. They just need probably more plays, and the defense needs to get off the field. And also, shout out to Dan from Atlanta. He went to my high school. We're friends, and Jake, he is a Yankees fan, not a Mets fan. So I wanted to confirm that for you.
Matt, thank you very much for the call. You'll hear this in about 5 minutes, but we appreciate the info there. I've done a lot of these weird ones. I thought he was trolling at first, like pretending like there was a delay. That was weird. At one point, the call worked. He was hearing me in real time, and then it just stopped working again. There was a delay. I mean, that he had to have been trolling. There's no way. He kept it together well if he was trolling, though. I would have cracked. That's why I can't ever prank call people. I laugh. I mean, it was a good call, though. Ladies and gentlemen, this guy is called back in, and he's back where he belongs. We say hello to Neil. Neil, welcome back to your normal location.
Jake, I missed the Fireman ED kickoff. How'd that go?
He was great. He was he's all jacked up, ready to go to Nashville.
Baby. Is there supposed to be a hurricane there Sunday or some shit? I look at the weather. It looks pretty good to me. What's the weather forecast?
Yeah, I was talking to Ed about that. Apparently, it's looking better than it was the last couple of days.
Thank God. The last thing we need is 50-mile-an-hour winds, right? I want to ask you a question. Who on our defense is more important than Haason Reddick, assuming he was on the team, okay? If he's on the team, to me, he's the number one most important player on our defense. And I'll tell you why. Can I talk? Okay.
Yeah, I just think that's a crazy take.
It's not a crazy take, okay? Because Sauce Gardner,
was Bryce Huff the most important player on the defense last year? Because that's who he's replacing.
No, you're wrong. Bryce Huff did not play 60% of the snaps. Haason Reddick could play 60% of the snaps, and he could stop the run. Not as, he's serviceable as an every down outside player, outside linebacker. Now, Sauce Gardner, very important. But in reality, he doesn't shadow the number one receiver on any team. He's out there covering the number two receiver every game.
Quick thing on that. He did in the second half. I didn't realize this, but good job by Samini pointing it out. He did shadow Ayuk in the second half. That was one adjustment they made.
But that's not what he does every game, okay? Let's start.
Correct, but he's more valuable than Reddick. He's the best cover corner in the NFL. When Brock Purdy was 6 for 6, the second Sauce was out of the game on Monday.
I just say, again, he is covering the second best player on any team. He was not covering CD Lamb last year. He was not covering a lot of number one receivers that gashed us because Reed was covering them. Yes.
Okay, so what about Quinnen then, who's double teamed or triple teamed on every play?
There you go. There again. Here's a guy that's double teamed every time he gets on the field and has had good but not great impact, especially in the last 5 games.
No, I think he has great impact because guys like Bryce Huff get 10 sacks because they're getting one-on-one matchups on the outside. Jermaine Johnson's a Pro Bowler because Quinnen's taking all the attention.
But he does not impact the game.
He does. That's impacting the game. Guys are getting sacks because Quinnen Williams is hogging up 2 or 3 guys at a time.
Okay, I could get a 350-pound defensive
It's
line.
not the same. Quinnen's a first-team All-Pro defensive tackle.
Jake, I'll give you Quentin Williams. But this guy is the second best most valuable, and I'll tell you why. A, he closes out games. B, he strip sacks the quarterback where we lack majorly and not having turnovers in our defense. He strips and he closes. Every edge player in the week 1, you could J.J. Watt. Listen, edge players, not JJ, you're laughing at me. Watt, TJ Watt, okay? Stop. These guys impact games, Jake. They take over games, edge rushers.
I agree with you, Haason. You don't have to tell me Haason Reddick's really good. I'm the one trying to tell all these crazy Jet fans all summer, we don't need him, screw him. No, you do need him. He's had 11 or more sacks 4 years in a row. But where I vehemently disagree with you is you saying that he's the most important player on the defense that's been top 3 the last 2 years without the guy.
I get it, but you know what? We don't have there's a double-edged sword here. The other edge is that we lost 2 very important parts of our defensive line. Not hugely important. I would say Huff was probably one of our second best impact defensive linemen last year. Yes or no?
Huff was excellent last year, yes.
Was he our second most valuable defensive player next to Quentin Williams?
I would probably say he was their 3rd most valuable defensive lineman because Jermaine, I think, offers more as an all-around player. He had 7.5 sacks, and he was excellent against the run.
Okay, I agreed. Okay, however, he was right there. Okay, the difference is Reddick could play as much as JJ. Okay, number 1. And number 2, he is just as good against the run as JJ is, number 2. Okay, so my point is we need this guy because we took pieces away and we replaced them with Mike Clemens and McDonald, who, again, McDonald is, again, a situational guy. He's like what Huff was 2 years ago. He's a 20% guy. So we really need this guy, all right? And I'm telling you, the faster we get him, we have him in our bill. He's there. He wants a bag. Give him the goddamn bag already.
We can't do this again. He's not getting the bag. They're not just going to give him a blank check. If he's willing to show up.
Blank check. You pay him with the top 5 edge rushers in the league. You pay him an average of the top 5 edge pass rushers. You don't have to give him $35 million like you give Bosa, but you give him $25 million for 3 years with an out clause in year 2, after year 2, rather. Because guess what? If Rodgers is playing next year, we certainly could use him next year also. There's no guarantee we're going to not need a great edge rusher. We have suffered through having no edge rushers on this freaking team since John Abraham. Okay?
I agree.
So excited.
But
we got so excited. Let me finish. When we had Huff, we were so excited. We finally got a guy that can rush the quarterback, and he's gone. He didn't want to play for us. Everybody's saying, oh, Reddick doesn't want to play for us. We don't know that. We don't know that he doesn't want to play. He wants to get paid top 5 pass rusher money.
I don't know if he's a top 5 pass rusher, though, Neil. That's the thing. I think he's in the top 10. Right now he's the 19th highest paid edge or 18th highest paid edge. There's not 18 guys better than him, but I don't know. He's not TJ Watt. He's not Bosa. He's not.
Go ahead, keep going.
He's
You're
not
running out quick.
No, he's not Aiden Hutchinson. He's not.
Yes, he is.
Miles Garrett. I don't know about.
Take him over I'd take him over Hutchinson. Absolutely. Hutchinson is a second-year player. He had a good play. We don't know what he is yet.
He's a
This
third-year
guy's done
player.
it for 5 years in a row.
If Hutchinson, if Sauce Gardner didn't exist, Aiden Hutchinson would have been the defensive rookie of the year 2 years ago.
I understand that, but this guy's done it for 5 straight years. He had 16
Neil,
sacks 2 years ago.
I agree. He's an outstanding
16.
player. He's
how
also
many sacks did Hutchinson get last year?
I don't know, but
He is smelling 16. I'll tell you right now.
Reddick had 11 last year. He's a very, very, very good player. He's also 30, hasn't shown up yet, and I don't think you now could, after now missing the first 2 games, I don't think you now could give him the bag.
29, going to be 30, whatever the case is. Look, Von Miller looked damn good yesterday. He's 36, coming off a big injury. He still looks good. When you're a pass rusher, you're a pass rusher.
But he's just a pass rusher. That's the thing.
No, he's not just a pass rusher.
Look, he's not Bryce Huff
the
against the run. But he's not Hutchinson against the run. He's not Myles Garrett against the run.
He's
he's got TJ Watt against the run.
Top 5 edge rusher. Okay? If not 5, 6, I'll make an argument when anybody's top 5. Because not only does he sack the quarterback, he strips the quarterback.
But Neil, they didn't lose Monday the way they did because they didn't have Haason Reddick. They didn't.
I know, it wouldn't matter. But not only that, Jake, he closes games.
Agreed. I agree with the premise of your point. I don't agree with just pay him whatever he wants now. Like I don't think you could do that and send that message to the rest of the locker room.
Here's the point. For right now, okay, to make you look safe face and not turn Douglas into what he turned into last year, Mr. Pumpkinhead, because he wouldn't get a quarterback. Instead of doing that and turning himself into a pumpkinhead and risks blowing our season, which is our Super Bowl season here, go out and say, here's the deal I'm willing to offer you, and make it a reasonable deal.
By the way, Hutchinson had 11.5 sacks last year, which is more than Reddick.
By 1?
Oh, I'm just saying, he's in his second year. He's going down to year 3.
How many times did he strip the quarterback? I'm telling you, Reddick has had a lot of tackles for loss and a lot of strip sacks, which Hutchinson doesn't get. But
Hutchinson, I agree with your premise that Reddick is an awesome player. What I'm telling you, though, is you have people who hate the Jets saying Haason Reddick's camp or him himself is being unreasonable. He's being silly with how he's approached this thing. So if you're the Jets and you have long-term deals you're about to be working out with your young stars, and also you're going to have to redo Quincy Williams' contract because he's not playing on the final year of that deal when he's grossly underpaid if he's all pro again. You can't now then rip up Reddick's deal and give him whatever he wants. Like, you can't do it. You could give him more money for this year, which I think they were willing to do. I was told by someone I trust, if it was as easy as just you pay Reddick $21 million to get him closer to the 25 a year he wants, they would have done it. He's being unreasonable with what he wants.
I believe that Douglas is being stubborn for $3 or $4 million, which at this stage, with as low as our contracts are right now, which is under $100 million or at $100 million, we could afford to pay the extra $2 million because right now there's nobody out there except we got to wait for the trade deadline that can make a big impact for us. But here's my point. If he goes out and says, I'm offering you 3 years, $75 million with an out clause after 2, now we know what he offered. At least now we could blame Reddick if he doesn't want to show up for $75 million with 35 guaranteed. It's still a few million more than Huff, and he's way better than Huff. Okay? So there you go.
He's on a deal right now that will pay him $14.5 million. So you want to now pay him $25 or $30 million a year?
Yes, because he deserves it, Jake.
He
How
doesn't.
about this? The left tackle on San Francisco held out because he wanted to be the number 1 paid left tackle.
Yeah, but Trent Williams is the best left tackle in the league.
Well, he wants to be paid like it. We're paying
because he is.
We're paying a guy that not even top 20. He's making less than most edge rushers that are not even going to shine his shoes. And I'm telling you, this guy is a guy we could really.
Yes, but if you don't think if he had shown up, the Jets would have been willing to play ball and redo his contract.
I don't buy. Let's put it this way, okay? If you're going to tell me, okay, I come in, I'm good faith, we're going to make a deal with you. But I want you to show up for camp and go through all the OTAs. And go
if your bosses tell you to show up and you want to be paid, maybe you show up, and then if they don't get a deal done with you, then you hold out. But this idea of him just telling the Jets that he was going to be there, and then he's not there at all, How does that help the Jets?
Look at
and
here's
Haason Reddick?
the point, though. If I'm his agent, I'm saying, yeah, that's nice, but guess what? Douglas's track record's not exactly great on paying guys when they show up, unless they're there for 2 or 3 years, and then he pays them on the back end of their eligibility.
Neil, the average top 5 salary, according to Philly Noodles, for edge rushers is $28.69 million. They're not giving him that when he's under contract for 14.
The 14 is irrelevant. He's not going to play for 14. What is 14?
Okay.
And
Well,
14 is this.
I think the Jets
not play for 14. I wouldn't play for 14 million if I was worth it. What? Go prove yourself and get the bag next year?
He's never done anything for the Jets, though. Why is it unreasonable for him to show up? He could still collect money, and then I would understand if he got no new deal and then held out once the season started if he got nothing. But he gave them his word that he was going to be there. Then he bailed. I don't think now if you're the Jets after publicly
Those are the things we don't know. We don't know what the deal is. We don't know the discussions, and it's all floated out there. We don't know. And I'm telling you, regardless of what it is, okay, this is a deal that has to be done for our team to
Neil,
make us better.
Neil, we don't know. Then why can't I sit here and come up with the likely scenario that Haason Reddick reneged on whatever they agreed upon for him to show up, and now the Jets are like, we're not sending the president of paying you until you show up.
That's my point. We don't know that he didn't do that. We don't know that Douglas said to him, "Oh, I'll give you an extra $5 million incentives this year," which is likely what he said. And the guy said, "What about next year or the year after?" I'm not.
Yeah, but no one in the Reddick camp has denied the fact that he wants 25 to 27 million a year. No one's denied that. So that's what he wants.
Good, pay him. 25 million. It's not a lot. You just said the top 5 guys make 28 on average.
Well,
so and you know what? Wait a minute. Hang on. Those guys that are making 28 million on average, Jake, they didn't get the contract this year. This year it's up. It's inflation, Bidenomics, up. What is it? 60 million? What Dak just got 60 million, right? Last year he would have got 50 million. Now it's 60 million.
He's under contract. He's got a year left. He's never played for the Jets before. Why do the Jets have to just give him a blank check till we know if he's any good? If he had shown up all summer and got to know his teammates and the coaches, I think he would have had a reworked contract by now. Now he's just being stupid because the best thing for him is to play football for the Jets, play well, and then someone will pay him the money he wants this offseason.
I get it. We're fans, okay? We want the best possible team on the field. We don't give a shit how much it costs because you're not paying for it. I'm not paying for it, although the season ticket holders, they got a little stake here. And again, I don't know the details, but to have all these great primetime games, Jake, this team is going to make more money this year than they ever made in the last 20 years. Is that an accurate statement? I don't know for a fact, but I got to guess they're making a shit ton of money this year. Yes,
I don't think it's a cash problem. There's salary cap ramifications. Right. And I think it's beyond that now because I think the Jets would redo his deal. It is more about the other contracts they have coming up and not.
I don't care about next year.
Well, the Jets do, though. They do.
Yeah,
they're operating like they're going to be good. Neil, how about they just win on Sunday and I'll see you at the opener on Thursday?
I'm going to be on that thing. I am a fanatic. I would be on this thing if we were 3-7. I'd still be up there doing the Jet chant. I'm a fan. Again, I want to win, and I'm going to give something else. JJ wants to win. He's a season ticket holder. I give him credit for more than 80% of the chat because this guy puts his money where his mouth is. And you know what? He criticizes Salah. He criticizes Douglas. That's his 2 big sticks. I give Douglas is a good GM. I'm not saying he's not a good GM, but like many GMs, there's a little bit of a weakness. His weakness is what? He doesn't, put the pen to paper. He tries to be a little finesser. He tries to look like, well, look at me. I got this guy for a steal. I got Tyrone Smith for $9 million. All right, that's okay. Some guys are going to get cheap, and some guys are going to have to pay up for it. But let's agree on one thing, Jake. This is our window.
Neil,
this year.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm waving the flag. I'm waving the flag. I'm going to the bullpen. All right. Nate has some points for you. Nate, hello.
Go
Am I
ahead,
on?
Nate.
Oh,
How are you, buddy?
nice to meet you, Neil. Pleasure.
Too. I'll see you Sunday. Am I seeing you Sunday?
Absolutely. I'll be there Sunday. I'll be there Thursday. I'm a season
Atta
ticket
baby.
holder like you. I'll put my money where my mouth
Attaboy.
is.
Okay. Do you want to see them spend money on Reddick, or you want them to sit on the sidelines all season?
Listen, I mean, it's not A or B. I obviously want it to get done. We need a pass rusher, right? Like that's why we traded for the guy. But like the smartest thing you said in this call was we don't know. Like we just don't know. What are you eating? Grilled cheese and Cheetos?
What?
Bunch of work emails.
I got a lot of work emails. Okay.
Bottom line is we don't know. We don't know. So we can't say, oh, he wants 3 years, 75 with an out. Let's give him that. Like, yeah, that sounds good to me, but we don't know what he wants. He might want 3 years guaranteed at 30 mil. Like we don't know what happened behind the scenes.
But Nate, if they make him an offer now, at least we know what he's accepting and not accepting.
You don't know that. There was probably an offer made already. Before the trade, after the trade, there was some negotiations. I'm sure. At this point, I don't know because it's been
If I
ugly for a
was
couple
Joe
weeks.
Douglas, I would want our fans to know what the offer was. This way,
That's not how you negotiate. That's not clean negotiating. You do not go to the public. You know that. You're a
No,
businessman.
you
don't
make
go to
an
the public.
offer. They're negotiating.
He
Nate,
did
the
make an offer.
Negotiating job they're doing is piss poor, Nate, because he's not on the field. Is it? Is that good negotiation we did?
Yeah, listen, but yeah, the results we don't like. But you don't know that Haason Reddick, who never played for the Jets, and you're claiming he's the most important part of our defense, which was top 5 for 2 years, but you're saying a guy who never put on a Jets jersey is the most important piece. That can't be true, because how are we top 5 without him the last 2 years? And don't say it's because of Bryce Huff, because Bryce Huff is not the reason we were top 5.
John Franklin Myers and Bryce Huff together, and Quentin Jefferson.
When I called in about JFM, you said don't. I don't want to hear that guy with JFM. Yeah, JFM is a bigger missing piece against the 49ers than Haason Reddick. If we were able to stop the run, JFM made plenty of stops on second and third down.
Bigger pieces. Those two guys would have been bigger pieces.
Look at Clemens. Clemens got run over. Clemens got run over on the edge. JFM would have made stops for second and 10, third and 10. The boring stops.
We have a big need on the defensive line right now. There's nobody else out there that we can grab.
I'm not arguing that. I'm not arguing that, but you can't give in to the guy if it's going to cost you Sauce, Brees, and Garrett in 2.5 years.
It's not going to cost you that. Our contracts on paper are $100 million. San Francisco's contracts on paper are $200 million. I'll go through the numbers. The Eagles, $180 million. This one, $170 million. We could pay Sauce. We
Neil,
could pay
Neil, do you have some water with your lunch? Take a sip of water. Calm down.
All right.
But okay, we have as of right now.
We don't need. We're not working on a budget here. We can pay these guys next year.
No, but I'm saying we can't guarantee him 3 years because next year we're most likely going to pay Sauce and Garrett and get ahead of the salary cap and extend these guys.
We could afford them. We only.
But listen. No. But Sauce, we're talking 30 a year. Garrett, we're talking 30 a year. Jermaine, top pass rusher, 30 a year. That's 90 mil. You want Brees, 15 mil. That's 105 mil. You want Garrett? Now we're at 135 mil. You're giving Brees, that's 165. I just did the math. You can't pay everyone.
A top pass rusher, Neil. It's not a top pass rusher. I'm eating my lunch. What do you want?
I need you to talk about the clients with you. Do you hang up the fucking phone?
No, I'm dealing with this right now.
You are.
I'm eating my lunch.
Talking to management?
Come on, Neil.
Talking to management of the Jets?
This phone call's costing me about $10,000. But anyway, let's just get back to it. Guys, listen, we love mediocrity. Let's continue to be mediocre. Hopefully, do you want to be a Yankee franchise with Steinbrenner, or do you want to be a Met franchise, which I had to deal with for another 50 years, another shit franchise?
It's a sport that doesn't have a salary cap. That's a sport that doesn't have a salary cap.
We know we could pay again. I'll say it one more time, Nate. Nate, we have look at the contracts, Nate, for the top 10 teams in football. They're all above 160 on paper.
Neil.
Ours is 100. We could take $25 million for Reddick. We could take $25 million for Sauce. We could take JJ is not going to demand a big amount of money. He's got to prove himself still. JJ,
yeah, we'll give him, for sure. Yeah,
it's blown all over the field right now. He could have a shitty season this year.
Yeah, for sure.
An elite
5 mil. Yep.
guy. Is he elite? Nate, is Jermaine Johnson elite? And is Almighty's elite?
I'm not paying him today. We have to pay him next year. If he gets double-digit sacks and he's 24 years old, 25 years old, he's going to command top dollar. He's not 30-year-old Haason Reddick.
Wait, he got 7.5 last year. You know what he's been doing this year? He's been doing Dicky. Only time he got near a quarterback
One game. Sure.
It.
We're going 0-17. Yeah, we're going 0-17.
Nate, you want to make a bet that he's not a double-digit sack guy with the current line?
How about this? I'll make a bet. I'll make a bet that last year Haason Reddick had one forced fumble, and you want to say he strips the quarterback? He had one. He had one. Look it up.
No.
Your man Hutchinson. No, look it up. Hutchinson had three forced fumbles and an interception. Haason had one forced fumble and 2.5 sacks against Max Mitchell, or he would have had less than 10. And he's 30 years old. He's a speed rusher. This is when they go to 6.5 and they turn into Shaq Barrett, who's not playing football.
Oh, like Von Miller.
And you want to pay him? You want to pay him $25 million in 2026 when we have Sauce, Garrett, Brees, Jermaine. You do the math. 30 million Garrett, 30 million Sauce. That's 60. 30 million A-Rod. That's 90. Quinnen, same thing. That's 120. Now you want Brees for another 15. You want Jermaine for a budget at 20. I'm already at 160 million. We're already at the cap, and now you got Haason Reddick for 6 sacks, making 30 mil in 2026.
That's 190. Now we're at the San Francisco level. That's 190.
Haason Reddick won't be good in 2026 for $30 million. That's bad value. And the only reason we're able to negotiate. Hold on. The only reason we're able to negotiate with Haason Reddick right now is because Joe Douglas, like you stated earlier, was a stickler with his money and gave gave a Hall of Fame left tackle $9-10 million. If he gave in to him and gave him 20 guaranteed, we're not trading for Haason. We're not having this conversation. So the reason Joe is holding firm, and that's why we're in the position we're in.
Hey, let's do it for once. Let's open the bet for once. We got a bunch of bargain guys here. Okay, that's all
Neil, I agree. If he wants 1 year, $40 million, give him everything we got this year. Give him anything plus bonuses. Give him $20 million if he gets one fumble. How about that? I don't care. Pay him everything for 1 year. I'm not giving him 3 years guaranteed, and we don't know what he's asking for. We don't know. Like you said it, we don't know.
Wait, if he gets 10 sacks, 15 sacks, 12 sacks for us this year, and closes out some games, you don't want him next year? You want to see him walk out the door to somebody else?
Yeah, and if he gets 6 sacks and he's no good, we can play this game all day. We can play this game all day.
Rushers are important. They're one of the most important parts on the defense.
I agree, Neil. I'll take him for a year. I'll take him for a year. I want him to show up and play. I'll give him a bonus. I'll give him signing bonus. I'll give him incentives. I'll give him all the money he wants this year. I'm not costing myself my young players and my flexibility going forward. We have a smart GM. We're able to be flexible with Rodgers and all of these moves because of the GM stays flexible.
Speak, are you? Nate, let me say this to you. The top 5 teams that were standing up last year in the playoffs into the championship game all had extraordinary pass rushers. Isn't that a coincidence? The Eagles had Haason. Bosa. Who else, Jake? Who else was in the playoffs last year? That had
Neil, are you not hearing me? I want Haason Reddick on the Jets.
How many teams were not in the playoffs that had – how many teams in the playoffs were in championship positions that had no edge rushers? How many teams that didn't?
That's why we traded for Haason. And he's under contract as a New York Jet.
That's my whole point, Nate. Jake, take me off. I got to go to work. Thanks, guys.
That's it? We're done, Neil?
Nate, I'll see you Sunday.
Did you make all your points?
Neil, I'll see you Sunday.
These goddamn exploding cigars. Like, gotta go, Jake. I'll call back later. Shit.
I think we covered a lot of ground there. I think we
don't get anywhere. There's stuff in it that we don't get anywhere. Like I get that he wants Haason Reddick. Everyone in your chat wants Haason Reddick. Like, but you can't give him again. Like the brightest thing he said in that call was, "We don't know." Like I've been saying to you for weeks. Like we don't know. We just don't know. He could be like, I'm done playing for this team. I don't want to play for them at all. I'll put my foot on the ground. They're trading me. I don't like how they're treated. Like I've been to the Jets facility more than Haason, and this guy thinks he's the most valuable piece on our defense. That was a top 5 defense the last 2 years, and he wants to pay him just like the players are not. I don't know. And top 5 pass rushers. He's not a top 5 pass rusher. He's maybe top 10 at this point in his career, and he has to prove he's top 10. We got Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, Max Crosby, Nick Bosa, Micah Parsons. You can't argue are light years better than Haason, both against the run and against the pass. Hutchinson is probably in that group too, but I'll give him that. He's definitely not top 5. That's a not great start to my Friday. Oh man.
Relax. It's okay. Jets will win on Sunday. You and Neil will hug it out. You'll both be at T squared. It's gonna be great.
It'll be great. Yeah, no, we're gonna. It'll be. I forgot what Gary said, but I'm like 28-6, 27-10, something like that. They're
You
gonna.
really think? I don't know. I get a feel. You know what? I don't know. I hope you guys are right. I just got a feeling it's gonna be a tight game. The Jets never have easy. We also have never had a quarterback like this, but it's still game 2 for Aaron. I don't know.
Yeah, in the locker room, these players are coming out like it's not. There's no hype behind this game. It's we have to win and we have to go pad on pad and beat these guys down. Like it's not. I don't know. That was very clear. It was the one thing you could probably learn. The players probably got that reality check. Like you can't just show up and all the hype and top defense and Aaron Rodgers. Like, and it's Aaron Rodgers versus Will Levis. Like we have the better running back. We have the better passing game. We don't know if we have the better pass rush at this point. But like, in my opinion, we probably have a better offensive line. We have better wideouts. We have skill positions. We have better defense. There's no reason we should lose this game. And like you said, if we lose the game, and we're 0-2. I said this a month ago. It'll be the hottest seat. And, we'll see Rob Saller's house will be on the market. Like that would 0-2 going into New England with New England starting Brissett and a good defense. I would come to the tailgate probably much later than I plan to if we win.
This phone call is costing me $10,000. Maybe one of the all-time lines ever said by a caller on this show.
Not only that, but you could argue Haason Reddick has probably said the same thing within a couple weeks. He's probably said the same thing to himself, but with a lot more money. He's on the phone with his agent. This phone call's costing me $10 million. Well,
yeah,
for $800K a week.
Let's just have Neil pay Reddick. Problem solved.
We do these GoFundMes everywhere. We could have Reddick, make a website, sell some merch. We'll all buy it. He'll make his first $5 million. He'll get the fines back. We'll put a couple logos on a shirt, and we'll get all his fine money back.
Kiglowski loved the deal call. I mean, that was a great moment. Nate, I appreciate it. Let Jets win Sunday. Everyone relax.
Thanks for calling into the bullpen. I had to call in. Thanks, Jake.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nate, parentheses, Nate. What a show. Jay Graves, I'm going to squeeze you in real quick, but I do have to go to the bathroom badly. So I'm just going to be totally transparent. My bladder might explode, but you're one of my favorites, so we'll get you in at the buzzer.
That made my brain hurt a little bit, just a little bit. I know it's noon, but that was a little bit too early for all that nonsense. But you gotta love the spirit. You gotta love the passion.
Oh, I love Neil. He's the best.
No, I love all those calls too. But I was like, oh my, he kind of was like, I feel like I'm hearing Gary right now, like the way he. But we all love Neil. He's an OG. He can't hate on Neil. But I just want to call in. So you gotta pee. But just want to say I got my bus tickets. I am ready for Saturday. I'm gonna do a little Bart Scott. Can't wait. Let's go. And also my other thing I wanted to complain about Mike Tannenbaum, because you know how much I love him. On Get Up this morning, everybody, even Ryan Clark, who is notorious, can be a Jet/Aaron Rodgers hater, because he's still salty from that Super Bowl loss. He even picked the Jets. But Mike Tannenbaum, this is a trap game. Then screw you. I hate Mike Tannenbaum. It was Bart, Greedy, RC, and Tannenbaum. And of course, everybody picks the Jets, but not Tannenbaum. But yeah, that's what I really want to say. I'm ready for T-Squared Social. I will see you guys Sunday. Jets. Jets.
Jay Graves, you're awesome. Great call. She'll be in the house. Neil will be in the house. Nate will be in the house. It's all happening. Adam is too cool with the super chat. We let Reddick walk, give up his rights. He signs with another team. When we get a comp pick to offset the Philly trade? I don't believe so. Because he would have to put up production for your team first. So now there wouldn't be a comp pick. You would just lose a 2026 third. JT says, Big O mocked Rodgers. Now karma hit Tua funeral. Dolphins funeral. I mean, year-to-year league, I said it. Everyone talks about Aaron Rodgers being injury prone. It's like we just ignore the fact that Tua was always one hit away from what unfortunately happened last night. Year-to-year league, man. Jordan Love didn't have an injury history. Now he's out for the first 4 weeks. Thank God for Tyrod Taylor, who looked good at the end of that game on Monday. Hope you don't have to see him play in any games that matter, start any games that matter, but you need a good backup in this league. Year-to-year league. All right, what a show it's been. 2 hours and 18 minutes. Thank you all for your support. Let's get a win on Sunday. Everyone can calm down. All right, we'll be focused on the home opener. Reminder, if you want one of those Hugo House hats, go quick. They are about to sell out. I just got an email from the folks over there. So if you want the hat Rodgers wore on Monday in black or green, use promo code Asman at the Hugo House website. Thank you all for your support. Thanks to Fireman Ed, who joined us before his flight to Nashville this morning. We're back with Boy Green this afternoon. I want to thank the audience, thank all the callers. We could not have done it without you. My name is Jake Asman. This is the Jake Asman Show. I will talk to you guys soon. JETS, 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 Jets. Flight Boss up next. What's up, Flight Boss?
Hey, what's up, Jake? I love your show, man. You know, I've been watching you for a while.
That can't be your
Yeah,
real
no.
voice.
Yeah.
You sound like Darth Vader.
Oh, wait a minute, man. I'm new to this stuff. Let me see. My voice changer.
I don't want to sound like a female or nothing. Wait a minute.
Say, Luke, I am your father. We'll let you go, Flight Boss. We couldn't understand anything at all there. This show never ceases to amaze me, man.